there because we're already into the game. We're 1 minute and 17 seconds in here. Observer has joined, and we're bringing you the very first semifinal from N4C $100,000 Age of Empires LAN event. We've got a Holy Roman Empire mirror on Hillendale.
And professional YouTuber, I just found it too funny. I was trying to come up with facts. I looked at his Twitter, and there it said, professional YouTuber. And I just copy-pasted it in his profile.
It sounds like one of those things, you know, you get invited to cast an event or like play in an event and they just pull whatever's on your Twitter profile. You wrote like 5 years ago. Hippo enthusiast.
And yeah, therefore we have Beastyqt here in the red trunks in an HRE mirror. We obviously see the prelate. We see the double scout approached by VortiX. Beastyqt plays with only one. And this is the moment where we want to take a look at relics. It feels like 3 at the top and 2 in the kind of center. Not a single relic at the bottom, Dave. This will be a bloodbath in the center.
Yeah, and these relics are actually super even for this map. If we look at where the openings are, I think maybe the one is a little bit closer to VortiX, but other than that...
But try to look at how he needs to exit.
Yeah,
I'm
just looking at the one in the middle. I'd say that's the closest one, considering the cliffs, but at the very top, yeah, I guess that one is a little bit further away than the one at the top is from Beasty. This is a great... Actually, looks like a decent map seed here.
We had TheMista today with Vodka checking all the map seeds, and therefore we will feel that the person that complains about map seeds the most should give us some good ones.
You talk to the players out there, and they're like, he's always talking. He's always making, like MarineLorD said, the sound of his keyboard scraping. Because he's just moving his keyboard constantly in the game room trying to figure out the optimal position.
I actually just recorded a video with Mr. how he's positioning his keyboard and how he puts coins under it and how he has a paper that measures the distance. We will show that one tomorrow.
All right, so let's take a look at the sheep numbers here. I think there was a lot of sheep following VortiX, and I believe he should have more under his town center. He's got 11 there, and then we can look over at Beasty's side and see how many he has, and it's... Okay, it's 7 for Beasty.
Yeah, and still the mill, right? You have all the deer, that's a lot of food. Now some pressure here against those witches. Prelate could potentially heal. Not something we see. Prelate a bit idle in general. I'm a bit surprised there. Now the Aachen Chapel coming down. And now we see an improvement on the overlay. Look at the circle around the one. Around the dark edge.
That tells you shows that they're going up.
Oh, look at that.
It kind of looks like... You know, Sauron from Lord of the Rings?
A bit, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
An all-seeing dark age.
So the chapel is within range of, I believe it hits the gold a little. No, it doesn't hit the gold. Okay, so it hits the town center, hits the wood line, and hits the deer as well. Scouts providing a little bit of harassment there from VortiX on Beasty's gold, but he pulled away those weak villagers, and he will simply send a few more out to the gold. Is he going for any opening, any military opening here? Is there any buildings behind his town center maybe?
Well, for now, it's a bit of harassment with the scout. Town center won't shoot another time. Wow, gets away with 5 HP. Now healing up.
Still harassing with the scouts, though. Being very annoying over there is VortiX. And we see the gold, the town center, the deer, and the lumber camp all influenced by the chapel from Beasty. So he one-upped them a little bit.
VortiX really having a beautiful, beautiful map. And now the thing we have to think about, Beasty, yeah, he might need to build another prelate. But we saw yesterday that Leenock also had to build a second prelate and still came out victorious. Obviously gives you an easier transition onto all those relics.
So both players are just playing this pure fast castle then?
It looks a bit like it.
There's a single spearman coming out from Beasty.
Okay,
that's it. I think he's scared of, or he just wants to drive the scouts away, or he's scared of horsemen. Maybe he's not actively scouting. Yeah, his scout is in the corner there. So he's not actively scouting what's going on at VortiX's base.
Did he not find all relics then? I think he saw the... this looks like he saw all of them, right?
Yeah, he saw everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's he scouting for then?
I don't know. His scout should be in his opponent's base there.
Exactly. Trying to find out, is my opponent going for stables? And if so, how many?
Maybe a little bit of nerves or something from BC.
Range.
And archery range here from VortiX. He did see the Spearmen on the gold, but still, I mean, the Spearmen are just going to be sitting in BC's base. It doesn't feel like you need an archer range to counter those.
Also, archers not that crazy good against prelates.
Yeah.
Like, they are just so fast getting away from archers.
Spearman still chasing the scout on that side, and both players building up enough resources to go to that third age. It looks like VortiX is going to be a little bit ahead. Remember, BC invested into those Spearmen, so setting him back potentially a little bit. VortiX not investing into any archers. Maybe the archery range was a debate.
Feels really weird though, because scout on the field, especially like double scout, you can always get the idea like, is my opponent going for it? Maybe. No, okay, now we see the double scout, and now we can compare both POVs here. Look at, although we don't have a lot of fight, the keyboards are burning.
Yeah, lots of clicks early on. We see VortiX already heading out for that relic. He's going to wait, and he's going to use his archer to help his prelate against that wolf. The Regnus Cathedral is on the way up, and Beasty has scouted another prelate with his scout. So he's going to be attacking that, pushing him away a little bit. VortiX is still sending out more prelates. He's waiting for that age 3 to come in, and then he can pick up the relics and bring them back home to the Regnuts. 3 relics against 2 feels so good in this matchup. Like, it's all about that relic count.
Absolutely. 3 against 2. It feels like it's over. 740-ish cast ledge timing here by VortiX. Pretty damn clean, but first prelate under quite some pressure. Now the question, do we send another one out? Seems like it. Oh, this is intense.
How many Spearmen does Beasty have? It feels like he's kept producing them.
We will see on the overlay.
No, he's only got
only
3. Okay. Maybe he lost one. It felt like he was producing for quite a long time, but he's going to have a Spearman, and he's going to have a scout chasing after this prelate. They aren't going to be able to do anything because the archers are there in defense, and we see the wall already coming up behind here for VortiX. VortiX is at 145 heart rate.
Oh god, this is really crazy intense for him. If games told me anything, I think he's 1 carrot away from leveling up.
I think, like, it's weird to see when the heart rates go up, right? It's not when you're in a losing position. It's when you're about to win. It's at the beginning of games.
Yeah.
It's like not the moments you would suspect. You would suspect you'd be at a very high heart rate when your base is getting wiped, but that's not often the case. Players are very calm in those moments. It's these moments at the beginning where they're just trying to settle in, where the nerves are really having an impact.
We also saw the landmark, right? The landmark snipes there. We saw a solid like 50% increase there for Mr. Oh, that I think could work. Oh, they're going to the wrong direction, Dave.
Yeah, Beasty running away just in time, and now he's going to loop back and go for that prelate. He's got a few of this.
We got a change in the overlay, by the way. The relic count at the left says how many relics we have in the base, and the one on the right, how many are making it home. So
I think it's been swapped though, because that relic is.
It doesn't really work. Overlay guy is scratching his head as well. So 3 now the count for VortiX, and soon we will have 2 there on the way for Beastyqt. He has 1 inside now, 1 coming home. Big advantage for VortiX, 3 against 2.
Does VortiX have 3 inside his cathedral
I
right
think
now?
so. Look at that.
Oh man, that was so early, and he almost got that 4th one home too. Great build here from VortiX, and we see Beasty just a little bit late to that 3rd age, and he's got to, I think I saw him shaking his head a little bit there. He's got to be wondering, like, how is he so much faster? I wonder if it had to do with that chapel position.
Look at VortiX food. Look at VortiX gold. He will imp this one pretty soon. Archers are really good at defending this area, and then if we get the printer, it's pretty crazy advantage. Now Beastyqt tries to force some reaction by taking the sacred sites.
Man, VortiX had those 3 relics gathering this entire time, basically, and Beasty is just bringing back that 2nd one, and it reflects really well in the gold in the bank. He's got 2,300 gold, 900 gold in the bank for Beasty, and Beasty is just now going to get that 2nd relic in there. 1,300 food for VortiX, and the army numbers there for Beasty, they don't seem like they're enough to punish this. There's prelates behind for VortiX, healing up all the units. He was repairing the gate with some villagers there. No potential for an all-in here from Beasty, and VortiX is going up. He's getting swabby already.
Sick, right? After contesting the 3, or after contesting the relics, getting 3, having archers out, extra prelates as well. Now on the way to Imp, obviously the market helped quite a bit there, but certainly a really good opening. Beastyqt will advance to Imp pretty soon as well, though.
Yeah, so similar imp timings here from both players. Beasty with a little bit more map control. VortiX 4 prelates, Beasty 3 prelates, but VortiX doesn't really have any army to support with those. So maybe Beasty goes out and grabs some of these sacred sites to make up for that lack of gold and tries to play the map control game here. It's going to be tough, though. It's going to be really, really tough when you're down 300 gold per minute in income from that third relic.
Are you, though? He's getting all the sacred sites. Soon, look at that. Now controls 2 sacred sites, only 100 gold down per minute. Soon he will get the third one, and then it's even.
Yep, if he can hold them.
Well, he is the one with map control. He's the one with a bit more army in the field. Imp timing is reasonably close. And look at that, Beastyqt. More villagers on that landmark. Therefore, he reached Imp a bit faster.
And he had more villagers in general, too. So he's going to retain the Vill lead. He's going to have those sacred sites, like you said. And he's going to have his 2 relics. VortiX, of course, in the long game, will have that third one. And he's going to have to come out here to contest a little bit. And it looks like
VortiX is going for the Spearman
upgrade.
Yeah, Castle Age upgrade there. So knows, okay, you're going for a lot of cavalry. And we see those archers getting pushed away. Not a lot of map control. Game stabilizes a bit. I think VortiX needs to use his market a bit more. Look at gold compared to food and wood.
Yeah, he really needs to balance his economy. I wonder what sort of food eco he has behind this. Even though the printer is cheap, you still need food to continue producing villagers and, of course, military units. Sacred sites have been captured. We've got a 9-minute and 45-second timer. This game is going to go the distance, I think, Nilly.
Ooh, let's see. Well, 940. Certainly some pressure here, but as we saw, no of the sacred sites walled in. We have to go for army. It's very likely that VortiX will reset at least one of them. And look at VortiX heart rate. Stabilized. We went up crazy high when we had to contest those relics. Now everything slowed down a bit. Minus 30.
It feels like all the players just need maybe 5 minutes to get into the flow of the game, right? They're sitting there for so long. They can practice on their computers a little bit, warm up, but it's not the same as getting into a tournament game. It's not the same vibe. And as soon as you're into the first one, that's when you just kind of need to make sure you don't screw up anything major and then reset yourself after the third age comes in.
Speaking of resetting, Sacred Site in the center, now under VortiX control any second. And, oh, look at that VortiX. Really early university there. Getting the extra upgrade, getting more HP for all his infantry.
Also contesting Sacred Site. So he's taking away that one Sacred Site in the middle, and he's taking away the Sacred Site in the top. He's actually capturing it for himself. And we can see the current number of military units on the field. It looks like 4 Lens Connect for Beasty. He's also got some prelates, and he's got 1 cavalry unit there. And then for VortiX, it's Spearman and 1 archer.
That's not a lot. And now that's elite Landsknecht as well. So he will just ruffle stomp over every single fight that we might get. But it's just now moving forward. Beasty, look at the stone count, Dave.
Is he going for a keep? Is he going for a forward keep here, Nilly?
Feels like it. Could get some gold control. As we all know, you only have 12k gold on your starting plateau. So have to go further down, plus only 2 wood lines. Some expansion there in the long run. And Beastyqt, he feels really comfortable in those situations.
Yeah, and he's still on stone with quite a few. He's still got 600 stone in the bank, so he can drop a keep here, maybe drop a keep a little bit further south as well. Start getting that line set up across the map, and that might mean that we are indeed in for a long game, as VortiX is going to be looking to push out. Now adding some of his own Lance Connect.
Getting the elite upgrade there as well feels like a pretty much like a mirror. Now the big question is, okay, if both going for the same units, who gets the advantage? Most of the time in this matchup, it's the one that transitions to siege earlier.
How many siege to military? Like, what's the ratio that you need?
I don't think we don't need more than 2 onagers or 2 mangonels if the opponent doesn't have any siege. Most of the time they have siege as well, and you kind of want to get some shots in. So I feel like 4 mangonels, then some bombards, maybe some culverines to counter the enemy siege. I would be surprised if we see more than 10 siege units, and 50 Landsknecht feels like a good number.
Okay. And then it's all about controlling sacred sites?
It's all about getting the big Magno shots in, right? Landsknecht, heavy when it comes to damage output, but they only have 100 HP. So they just simply die to Magno shots so easily.
I like how neither player has even thought about going into the other player's economy. They know the walls are there. They're not even poking away at all. They're just focusing on this middle area. And Beasty even adding stone walls. And as soon as we see the stone walls, both me and Nilly lean back in our chair. Here we go. It was an involuntary reaction there, and I encourage everyone at home to do the same because we're in for one right now.
Order yourself some HelloFresh, order yourself some nice meals, and sit back. This could be a long game indeed. But actually, it feels like a long game, but it was just so much fast forwarded. Actually, this game is only 17 minutes old.
Yep. Yeah, well, that shows the speed of the Palace of Swabia. It shows the income from the relics. You don't need any villagers on gold. You can put them on other resources, which means you get that Palace of Swabia sooner, which means you start getting the villagers out. We are 17 minutes into a game, and both players have over 100 villagers.
Pretty solid production. Beastyqt still behind in the HP upgrade, but Landsknecht now on solid numbers, now pulls up. And look at that, first Kovarin on the field. An Imperial siege unit that is great at countering other siege units.
Yeah, and there's another keep forward. As we see Siege now coming forward from VortiX. Spearman actually doing really good damage against that Landsknecht.
Yeah, we still don't
Always
have the full
surprises
HP
me.
upgrade. Yeah, and Landsknecht mainly work in big groups,
Yeah,
right? Because
splash
they
damage.
do that splash damage.
Yep. Little engagement over there in the north. It looks like BC has also captured the sacred site in the south, and the keep is under fire. I didn't see any villagers nearby to repair that keep either. Just one prelate, and he seems a little bit lost. He's also a little bit wounded, so maybe BC needs to get him out of there, but he's going to drop a keep near that sacred site in the south. And here come the villagers now to repair this one, but no military support.
Kovarin's coming, and Kovarin should be pretty good against the Bombard there. Now Springald in placement as well. How long can we survive against this one? Kovarin should get them shots in. Look at that, even gets boiling oil. He wants to keep this one. Kovarin
Definitely
first
wants to
shot.
keep it alive. It's so weak, and it
No.
goes down. Keep snipes it at the end. Culverin getting that first shot in there, and I think he's going to be able to keep this position alive. And there go the Landsknecht, and they're going to try and get in to VortiX's economy. And if he can get in there without VortiX noticing, he can start harassing the food eco. But VortiX, of course, is going to notice this right away, and he's going for more wooden walls behind this.
Why is this not a stone wall?
I don't understand.
It's so much easier to wall there. You can build the gate later on if you want to. And this just feels sloppy because those Landsknecht will continue being a threat then.
Yeah, it feels like BC was on stone income so much faster than VortiX. And thinking about those stone... Another wooden wall behind this. I guess he's got the Landsknecht coming from behind, so he's trying to trap him there. This could be an opportunity for BC, honestly. If VortiX is fully focused on that fight at the back there, trying to wall this off, trying to take this efficiently, I think there's an opportunity for BC to push in the middle.
Split now by Beasty. Oh, look at that. VortiX didn't really want to move in with everything, and Beasty now tries to find another angle. Not the most important skirmish. The big question will be how siege control is going to look like. Both players now mainly going for Kovarins. Getting better range and getting the first shots in will help you so much in those fights.
2 Mangonels now from VortiX set up behind that keep position. More Culverins on the field from Beasty. He's got, what, 4 of them now? 3 of them now?
As you can see in the overlay at the top, we have 4 indeed against only 1 from VortiX. Man-at-Arms now being added by Beasty as well. A bit surprised by that. We only have Castle Age Man-at-Arms as well. And Chemistry now, so wants to get more damage output for his Gunpowder Siege.
I really like the micro with these Landsknecht. They're trying to engage with just 2 units against 4 to get the full effect of that splash damage. And look at this wall!
That was Beastyqt's wall. Cancelled now, but that was ambitious.
Yes, indeed. And Beasty is up to 140 villagers. VortiX sitting at 112. So we see a little bit of a difference here. I think Beasty's trying to make up for the lack of that extra relic.
Yeah, you can make an argument for this being too many villages though. 139, still some more in production there, as we saw just some more popping out. And then 139 means you only have 61 military, and different units take different pop space. Those Bombards, those Kovarins, won't allow him to build too many more foot soldiers.
I think there was another outpost there from Beasty in that stealth forest, so he wants to get vision on the units around there, might even fortify that. And there's another keep, so it is indeed the line of keeps. He hasn't lost one yet. And there's the first stone wall of the game from VortiX. He's going to try and batten down the hatches on that southern side, keep himself secure.
Oh, Landsknecht moving in, right-hand side, quick wall. No, that's actually finished.
It's close. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah. It would have maybe been more exciting if it was open, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know I'm a hype caster.
Oh. And now Beasty says, okay, if you're going to wall yourself in, I tell you what, I'm going to wall you in too. And Beasty goes for a forward wall there, a little bit ambitious, has lost all the villagers, will need to send some more forward, but I don't think VortiX is going to let this happen. He's still got those mangonels set up there. He looks like he's set up to play the long game. And as we know from Beasty, he's constantly thinking about the long game.
Only 160 population by VortiX. I'm a bit surprised. Gold not too crazy here, at least in the bank. Military upgrades now flying in, both going heavily for their infantry upgrades. Obviously, Bombard now takes out that keep, and that makes it tricky for VortiX to maneuver, because that's kind of an interesting choke there in the center with the two wood lines.
Was that the only keep for VortiX?
Potentially.
Like, Beasty has, what, 4 or 5 keeps?
Way
And
more
Beasty
map
has
control.
stone walls everywhere. Beasty was repairing that forever, and Beasty is still on stone and has 1,500 in the bank. It feels like he has a much clearer idea.
What's up with that villager? Behind the... Is he helping or is
He's
he not
taunting.
helping?
He's taunting the Landsknecht as they try and get into this gate. The siege is shooting them from behind, and the villager is dancing behind the gate, and the reinforcements will come in time. These are total mind games here from VortiX's villager behind those wooden logs.
Can't touch this.
And apparently Beasty can't touch anything. And Beasty is going for the full wall off.
Oh, that's so sick. That's so sick. And that will limit VortiX in his ways, how he can go on this map. Now some stone walls by VortiX here as well. Walls himself off that gold Wayne as well.
I don't
That's
think
the
he
8K gold.
I don't think he understands what's truly happening right now. he's like, it's fine. I'll just wall myself in. And Beasty's like, it's fine. I'm gonna wall you in. But he does have a massive military. Look at this force ready to go. I wonder if BC is going to have enough to stop this. Cannon will go down. There's a bunch of culverins behind this. Of course, the keep there with the upgrades. We got Landsknecht coming in from Beasty. I just wonder if he's got enough to stop this. That was a huge shot.
I think that was boiling oil, right? I have no idea what happened there, because culverins typically not great against infantry.
Look at all the dead bodies. And no dead bodies there from Beasty. He lost a single cannon in that engagement, I think.
Top 150 only for VortiX. What's happening? We are floating 6k wood.
We're floating so many resources, and BC continues to tighten the noose in here. So many culverins there, sniping all the siege from VortiX, and VortiX calls it nearly before even a big fight. He just knew BC played that perfectly.
Dare I say, outplayed? That looked so clean there. Beastyqt full control, was down a relic in HRE mirror. You really don't want to get into that situation. But he walled off, and it felt like he got to the better army composition.
Yeah, he got to that siege ball. Like 6 culverins, and VortiX is sitting there with all his Landsknecht. He sends them in once, they die. He had how many siege to back that up? He had like 1 culverin of his own and 2 mangonels. Just not what you need. It's all about the siege ball in that matchup, and Beasty played that amazing. I think the key there was when he went on stone. VortiX went on stone super late. He got the 1 keep up in response to Beasty's keep, and then he didn't get anything else on the sides.
Maybe opening Bombard was a mistake there as well.
Yeah.
Just imagine how we had the first culverin doing so much, and then the keep survived. And once you have like 3 culverins and the opponent has 0, you know it's super tough for them to come back. And then you can add your own bombards. And we saw BC, I think he had 1 single bombard.
Yeah, and he took out the keep, that's it.
Yeah, because he knows you can't snipe it. I had 9 culverins.
Yeah. And then if you want to go for any sneak attacks, you can't, because there's stone walls from your opponent on the side. So you have to funnel through that middle. You think, okay, I'm going to funnel through that middle. Screw it. And there's 6 culverins. Keep, Landsknecht die. You're done.
And in that tight, choky area, Landsknecht fighting against you. Now we see the boiling oil again. You see all that dying. It's 8, 9 Landsknecht all going in. Look at that with their yellow legs just to the sky. falling.
That's way shorter. I don't think I would ever bet on that game length. After we saw the Stonewalls from Beastie, I thought we were going for like another 30 minutes there.
Yeah, I was ready for it, and it felt like Beastyqt was ready for it as well. And you saw like VortiX, that was more like, damn, I'm running out of ideas. It's like there was no highlight scene.
Yep. There wasn't even a fight.
Feels like it, right?
Yeah.
The biggest fight was the one at the bottom, H Landsknecht against
There
H.
was a fall over. That's it. He died. And now into game number 2. And of course, with our rules here in best of 7, means that VortiX gets to pick his home map. We will let you know what that home map is as soon as we know it. What was the Civ ban here? Was it Delhi again?
It was
for
Delhi again,
Okay.
indeed. Tomorrow, in the finals, for the first 8 games, we won't have a Civ ban. So for all the Delhi lovers, tune in tomorrow for the big finals again.
Yeah.
Because we will see Delhi very, very, very likely.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to get to that Delhi matchup, and players just haven't been playing it for a week and a half, and it's just going to suck. They're going to lose to, like, Mongols or something.
Yeah, potentially. It is tricky, certainly. And now we have seen people that are out of the tournament starting the ladder grind, trying to relearn Delhi. And they're suddenly playing against people that have been playing Delhi on the ladder for the last 2-3 weeks. And suddenly, like Delhi Mirror, they had no idea because they simply know, the players here, that they don't need to play it.
Yeah, and it's interesting talking to them, seeing the differences of opinion. Like DeMusliM is practicing Delhi on the ladder a lot. He's playing it almost every game. And then I mentioned that to like MarineLorD, and he's like, "Bah, it's so easy to play." he's like, "You don't need to play it."
Well, we'll see. And Leenock, I think Leenock will ban Delhi as well, so I think this is pretty easy in that sense. Yeah, will be tricky. And then obviously tomorrow, game 9, we will have 1 ban and then a free pick for the remaining map. We also have 2 home maps in addition to the normal 7, but we will guide you through that one tomorrow. Still today, 1 best of 7. This one, VortiX against Beastyqt. Later tonight, MarineLorD against Leenock.
Leenock said he was going to 4-2 him.
I like that.
Yeah, I like the confidence too.
But MarineLorD said he's going to 4-2 him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Because this morning he said, "I'm not sure." He was nervous this morning.
Then he said something else on stream yesterday. I think I had him yesterday evening, right? Yeah, and talked to him. And he said he felt relatively confident. Maybe a bad night. Maybe he saw the Rex again and saw how strong Leenock was yesterday.
Yeah. Speaking of 4-2s, I 4-2'd Nilly in Super Nintendo Mario Kart Racing yesterday.
That's not correct.
I just want to say I haven't played that game since I was 7 years old, and Nilly plays it 7 times a day, so.
True. Yeah, actually, like, I brought my Super Nintendo, and we played Super Mario Kart from 1992, a bit against each other, and then some Super Street Fighter. And after Dave was done, I actually tried to break my old high scores in Super Nintendo, played some Mario Circuit, and your comment was,
"This is the saddest thing I've ever seen."
English against French, matchup we have seen multiple times on Arabia. Both civilizations struggling a bit with win rate here. And a true classic Arabia, English and French. It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be good. And who is English and who is French? Sorry, I was thinking.
Beastyqt with English, and now we can finish. What do we have?
Second place in N4C Swiss stage.
Because of his very high.
There's so many S's in there.
Swiss stage. Switzerland.
Yeah. Because of his high Buchholz.
Exactly. And his Buchholz was so high because?
Only player that didn't face LucifoN or Viper in N4C.
Yeah, and they had such a low win score, and therefore his Buchholz was so high. And therefore we know that he went 3-2, playing only the best in the tournament.
And here we go, Arabia. It is French versus English here, and we've got Beastyqt playing as the English. We've got VortiX playing as the French. What are the keys to this matchup as the English? Is it all about taking the French player off gold?
It feels like it, right? And that's why we've seen French player actually realizing, damn, if my gold isn't too pretty, I might need to transition a bit more. And I want to keep my villagers closer to my town center. And that's why the typical transition or the typical army composition for French Royal Knights plus archers, transitioned into horsemen and archers, not investing into gold.
Okay, so VortiX has gone for that second scout here. It looks like Beastyqt is going to remain on one scout, and he's going to find himself a few sheep over there, so he should be fairly happy as he brings them back to his CC. I believe he's going to have 8 now, and VortiX, I assume, will have a few more.
Very likely. The thing is, though, English not really relying on sheep that much, right? You can go for your farms, you can make some easy transition happen. Sheep, not that important if your farms are cheaper and more efficient.
That scout barely gets away there from VortiX, but he's going to bring those sheep back to his economy. And his gold, it's in a pretty open position. Obviously, he would have liked for it to be back, but it is fairly close to his town center.
Yeah, can't be too mad about the position, obviously further behind, but actually the second gold is right to his wood line. The question is, do we need to stay on that gold? What's the army transition going to be? And how early is Beastyqt adding that barracks? How many spearmen does he want to put on the fields against VortiX, who's likely to go for some cavalry?
Woodlines are pretty far forward for both players, actually.
One feels defensive for Beastyqt, but yeah, not great woodlines for VortiX. We can agree on that. Especially the secondary one looks pretty far forward.
Yeah, I mean, that's super far forward. And the third one is like in the middle of the map there. So it's going to be tough for him if he loses control there, but he is French, so he should be able to control the middle of the map in the early stages of the game and hope to keep the English at home.
Beastyqt pulling villagers away from gold, so therefore we won't see an early wheelbarrow. Builds the landmark with 3 villagers, no big surprise. Still no barracks, and we can see a pretty standard opening.
Okay, so Council Hall there, not the Abbey of the Kings, Sag. Eventually we'll get to a meta, Nilly. Eventually, somewhere down the road.
Well, there already will be Abbey of the King changes.
I think it's 6 HP every second now.
Okay.
It was 4.5 every 1.5 seconds before.
Okay.
6 HP every second is nothing to laugh at, I don't think.
That's for all the units there, right? All the units, not only healing one.
So.
Is it one unit healing?
I think it's everyone.
Sick.
Yeah.
Well, then you can take some crazy engagements.
Set it up in the middle of your eco and just put your villagers getting resources underneath it.
Yeah, also I think players with great micro can really utilize it.
Mm. But is it as good as a double archer range?
Instantly as well, right? Council Hall, such a crazy thing. And now we see the barracks by Beastyqt, gets a good idea of what his opponent is up to, now drops off 2 more sheep, and then he needs to go for some scouting. Has to see how much gold VortiX is collecting.
Keeping his base very compact there, too. He doesn't want to spread out initially because the French have a lot of mobility at their command. Now, let's see. A new age begins for Beastyqt. He's in the second age. VortiX is going up right now, and he's just reached the second age and immediately goes for a horseman.
Horseman, archer range, and wheelbarrow. So pretty defensive play there. Quite interesting. As we mentioned before, pulled his villagers away from gold, and then the big attack angle is likely to be that wood line. Obviously, we want to at one point see some forward villagers from the English trying to build some forward towers to get the plus 25% attack, and now we are looking over their shoulders. Yeah, we're watching the double view here as VortiX is just patrolling around with that horseman, looking for any longbowmen coming across the field immediately, and Beasty was just building up his longbow mass. He wants to get spears with his longbowmen before he sends them across. It's really, really dangerous with Britons because you don't have that mobility that the French do. So you got to be careful about the horseman traps coming from the sides or from even behind you because they're so fast. And here we go. Beasty is finally heading out across the map. He does have spearmen, 2 of them to support his longbows, and I believe he was pulling a villager along with that too to make an outpost forward. Damn, Beastyqt is smashing that keyboard as well. He is fast on that one. Now pushing further forward, gets the good position. 2 villagers forward. Sometimes we see people try to go for 1, but wants to get more control. doesn't want to see one villager getting sniped and then waiting for another one to go forward.
And I love the non-greedy outposts. I mean, basically everyone here is making non-greedy outposts, but some of the times you watch the English play and like the first outpost is in the economy from the enemy. And that's just not very smart because you want to build that network that you can retreat through.
Yeah, so true, and it's so important to get that first one up, right? We've seen multiple times people being too aggressive, and then horseman, archer, maybe some villagers jumping on it, and look at that, he's set up for a horseman flank.
He's even set up the palings there, and he's got more spearmen on the way. What is the follow-up here from VortiX? He's going double archery range. Does take a lot of hits on that one horseman, though. That's a bit sloppy there.
Wow, and didn't click far enough. Spearman could chase this one down. Oh, sloppy!
What is going on from VortiX here? It takes another hit after losing that horseman, and I think the villagers, yeah, the villagers from BC are coming forward and already beginning to wall the front side of VortiX's base. Maybe Beasty is looking at these wood lines and sensing an opportunity.
This is for a gate there, and then he can always move in, move out. Impossible for the opponent to properly engage against that one, and now goes for the extra wood line, but not a pretty one.
It's pretty far away, but at least it's a little bit of safe wood that he can take confidently until the army from Beasty rolls around that way anyway. And the army is looping around towards this direction. Let's see if the gate follow-up is there. The outpost is about to be complete, and VortiX is sending his entire military to protect these villagers out here.
Well, he has to, right? Look at the resources by VortiX. So much on the limit there. Now floating some food because he doesn't have enough wood to queue up more horsemen. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes for one now. Pretty crazy good macro from both of them.
Speaking of floating food, there is a floating food smell that is making its way over to my nose now. It seems like every single time I start into a set, maybe I should always do the second set of the day.
Not on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. It is Saturday today, so I will be doing both sets. And there's another outpost there from Beasty, and this time it's on the gold in the wood, but you can see the threat in going for the outpost too far forward. He's going to have to back up a little bit. VortiX will continue bringing these archers forward, bringing them back when the longbows engage, and maybe have a chance to pick the villagers. He got both of them.
Oh, that was sloppy by Beastyqt. Not really sure what he was looking at, but where the longbowman, he should outrange the archers.
Yeah, I don't know why he pulled them so far back. I don't know why he sent the villagers back to do that. Like, it clearly wasn't really going to work in that location.
Was he maybe that distracted with the horsemen that were over there? He got some good hits in, but obviously those two villagers so valuable at the front.
Okay, so Beasty now adding his farm eco behind, but the horsemen are looping around. Another villager on the way forward. Horsemen find their way into the wood line from Beasty. Another villager goes down. VortiX, 33 villagers. Beasty, 26.
Ooh, horsemen getting away. Still, what is that range, Dave?
Yeah, those arrows are tracking for quite the distance here. We're not even on the same screen. He's still being shot by that.
Okay, let's take a look. It's another horseman going down. Those longbowmen not in the numbers that Beastyqt was hoping for. Horseman and archer chasing this one down. This should be some losses for Beastyqt.
Yeah, and the archers are faster than the longbowmen, so they will be able to catch up. The spearmen running cover now for those longbowmen, and they're going to be picked off. And this looks like a great position here from VortiX. And behind this, he has the French economy. Already has wheelbarrow. Has that faster producing TC, so he can afford to pick fights here and take even trades because he knows his economy is going to be better. Horsemen all dying under the town center, but I believe like multiple villagers going down there for BC at home.
Look at the villager count.
37 to 24.
Why? How?
It's French. It was the two villagers forward. It was the two he lost on the wood line. He probably lost 3 there as well.
Sick. This is so good for VortiX. We felt like so much pressure was coming here with the longbowman, with the spearman, with the bad gold spot for VortiX, but he stayed calm. His counterattacks did so much.
Yeah, with only 4 horsemen too.
Yeah. Crazy, crazy moves there. Arrowslits now coming in for Beastyqt. Not a lot of military in production. It's now slowly tries to get onto gold. As we can see, neither player with a blacksmith yet.
And it looks like Beasty wants to switch up his angle of attack over towards that gold of VortiX. We got the blacksmith in the back from him, and we have upgrades coming in. Longbows now shifting across the other way, but that ball of archers is massive. And I feel like VortiX straight up fights against Beastyqt right now will just win them easily.
Okay, ooh, scared those villagers away. Feels like this could be a really long feudal age here. Oh, he's going for the counterattack again.
Yep.
And he saw the longbowman next to his base. This is kind of risky. And VortiX, he doesn't have enough wood to build some quick defensive towers. This feels like a big risk by VortiX.
He's going for more horsemen at home, I believe, and he's also adding in more archers at home. So he feels pretty confident in the defense, and BC hasn't seen anything to let him know that the army is leaving. So this army is going to show up at BC's woodline. He's not going to have enough time to pull back, so I think he's going to have to push forward. But how does BC defend this?
Let's take a look. Villagers instantly pulled. This is so much idle time, though. Archers will easily find some kills. Do all those villagers even fit into the town center? Luckily for BC, he already lost too many, so it's not too tight in the town center.
Yeah, it's just that classic thing where you're trying to kill villagers in VortiX's position as he kills another one and snipes probably 3 more here. But you've already killed so many. There's none to be had, right? Everyone is inside the TC. You have 43 villagers for VortiX, 21 for Beastyqt, and now BC is looking for more opportunities as he loses 2 more villagers, down to 20 right now, and he loops back around to that right side again.
And no way of contesting that army. Now it feels like Beastyqt has to do major work with this one single force. VortiX, is he going for the counter-attack? Will he stay at the front, or is he trying to go back? I think MusliM army at home will be tricky for him. Loses an archer.
And the villagers are now on the berries. It's only a matter of time before BC finds his way back there. He's not bringing the archers back. He's going to continue providing pressure over at BC's base. He's got archers at home in defense. But how many villagers are there? That is like half of VortiX's economy.
9 villagers! And Longbowman will easily kill all of those if he wanted to take the fight. Longbowman now finding some kills against the archers, villagers. Most of them make it home, though.
Yeah, BC still inside his town center, and he's trying to hunt down this massive group of VortiX villagers. That is the entire economy for VortiX, and all of this happened because of those woodlines, Nilly.
Oh, this is so tricky.
Does BC actually have a chance here if he catches these villagers off guard?
Longbowmen are crazy, right? And the smaller the army numbers, the easier it is to micro them.
That way. Stay in a group, people. Stay in a group. He snipes off a few villagers. And he goes back to the woodline once again. BC will need to run all the way around to get at these, but think of the idle time for that. Saying that, though, BC will lose another 5 villagers on his woodline. He's down to 13.
We are 13 minutes into this game, and Beastyqt is at 13 villagers.
43 villagers here for VortiX. Granted, most of his economy has been running around for the last 2 minutes. So probably a little bit less than that. Oh, stay in a group. They're coming back again. Trying to do something else, maybe trying to move out to that gold for the 3rd time this game. Archer's now heading back from VortiX. This is really ugly for BC, but it's not pretty for VortiX either.
Thing is, if BC loses this one army, he knows it's over, right? He knows that he saw 30 villagers run.
Yeah.
He saw 40 or 39 it was, right? Villagers run away, and he knows, okay, I'm at 15. So once he loses the army, he will obviously tap out.
If this was MiSTA playing right now, there'd be 15 villagers heading across the map.
Going for the landmark. More archer losses. I think Beastyqt's KD in the last like 3 minutes might have been like 10, 12 kills and only lost the 3-4 villagers at home.
And look at the income from VortiX. It's simply not there. It's simply not there. BC is now chasing that army over on the right-hand side. Villagers in a group again. How many are there? How many are there, Vodka? If you could show us. We got 19 villagers there attacking the outpost from Beasty. Beasty knows VortiX is not feeling comfortable, but he's got to keep looking at his eco and thinking, like, what is going on?
And that tower got so many kills as well.
Yep.
This is madness, Dave.
Is there a chance? I thought there was 0 chance, but looking at this map control from Beasty here, thinking there might be a slim hope.
Do we have campfire? Can Beastyqt heal up all those longbowmen? Now gets closer to this tower. I don't think VortiX actually wants to take this fight. Where are the horsemen?
Looks like BC is going to be firing with that tower now, but the longbowman numbers are dwindling, and I haven't seen anything in the cube for quite a long time here from BC. Nothing in the queue from both players. We got 3 food in the bank there from VortiX. He doesn't have that food eco, can't go back to the berries at the back there. Struggling for wood. He's all in on gold right now. It says he has 36 mils. He had 41 like a minute ago nearly, so that tower must have killed so many more at the front. He's at 35 now. What else is going on?
Those villagers
No!
constantly dying, and those villagers at the top won't do too well either. Still no chance to get any of the deer, and it feels like VortiX doesn't have enough wood to properly go into farms.
34 villagers versus 21.
This is madness. This is absolutely crazy. Now goes for more Longbowman, and Beastyqt, he's down to 13 military, so he was reproducing. Still some spearmen at home. Longbowman will fall, but the tower is doing some fine damage.
Tower is doing good damage, but the archers really using their speed and catching up to these Longbowmen here from BC. Queues up a few more. I haven't seen anything in the queue from VortiX for a very long time.
Yeah, obviously we took villagers out of the queue to not block the spots there, so he will keep on producing, but he's not producing faster than he's losing them.
Yeah, BC will now garrison those in the tower.
Is this a spot for knights? He has food and gold.
It definitely is. I think it definitely is. Send a couple knights. I think you might have enough to defend at home. You don't want to engage against the spearmen, but maybe even a couple knights back into the eco from Beastie might be a good play. But look, he's still struggling for wood. He's trying to take that one tree, and BC is still there with the villagers, still pushing in with outposts. Villagers now engaging against the outposts for like the 5th time this game.
Population is actually getting closer here, Dave.
38 villagers for VortiX, 24 villagers for BC. VortiX is desperately trying to get rid of this villager. Can he snipe her? And she goes down. No more capability to make outposts here for Beastyqt.
And look at that wood line. So ugly. Empty.
What
and he lost all the food that he had in the hand of those villagers, right? They all had food in the hand when they ran away from the berries, and now he put them onto wood, so losing the food.
Okay, I think BC needs more villagers forward, because that's where he was finding his success there. He's got 24 villagers, hasn't been hit in a while, 9 military for both players, and both of them are going to try and settle this down.
Siege what? Siege engineers?
What?
He's trying to go for rams. He has no wood income.
I think VortiX is a very confused individual at the moment.
He needs a market. Gold is the only resource that he can really get. Do we have? I think we see a market there at the top. Yeah, that's so important, and then he can make stuff happen. 0 food income right now.
Yeah, he's going to try and clear up those outposts forward. More longbows coming in from Beastie, and now he's going to be kicked off gold. And once again, we've got a large group of villagers running for safety, the dubious safety of a wood line. And he's chosen to go for the messy game strat, which is the safety in obscurity. Safety in being so far away from the base that your opponent will never suspect you're there.
Well, sounds like a weird strategy, but on the other hand, Beastie is really small.
He is very small. The closer you are to danger, the farther you are from harm. And the longbows now shifting over to the right side. Does he suspect? He's shifting to the middle of the map. Is he going to start looking for other resources?
Oh yeah, he even added a scout.
Oh, BC could punish VortiX here, but it's still 45 villagers against 27.
But that could easily be 10 dead ones.
Yeah.
Then it gets scary close. Now even the extra HP upgrade on those towers, 2,000 HP. Villagers won't kill that one too easily.
BC's economy hasn't been hit in 4 minutes, and he's still only at 28 villagers.
Well, he was down to 13.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can build 3 more villagers per minute if you are not producing any
found
scouts.
it.
Uh-oh, and that's more villagers coming, Dave!
More villagers being pulled in for the, I don't even know, I've stopped counting, but for the 10th time or something, villagers are being pulled.
Horsemen for Beastyqt, and it's exclusively archers. As you can see, 1 scout, and VortiX, he didn't scout for quite some time. Look at that double stable switch. This will be brilliant for our Serbian.
Yep. And we know BC is not going to struggle with food income, even with those villagers. He's got the English farms, and he set them up early. So he's going to be able to sustain that horseman production. 5 in the queue, okay. He's got multiples on the field now. He's losing these longbows, but he's kind of pulling these archers out of position now. So maybe opportunities for him to do damage. I wonder if VortiX went back to that wood line once again.
Ooh, yeah, feels like it, right?
Oh,
it
there's
is
so many
safe.
villagers there. Oh my goodness.
Archers now clearing up the longbowmen. Horsemen are coming over. Something we didn't mention, or at least I didn't mention, is that blacksmith upgrades are way better for VortiX there as well. Got 3 of them at the top, so if we fight even armies, obviously better for VortiX in that regard.
Yeah, VortiX has the archers very exposed on this side. Beastie still without the armor, and that's a decent amount of archers, but the horsemen are going to do pretty good damage here as Beastie runs in and snipes a couple units immediately. Good food eco there for Beastie. Very stable economy.
Triple stable?
I think
so,
it
right?
was.
Now we see some knights from our French player as well, and indeed, triple stable, 1 barracks, and the landmark there. So more archers are coming over. Horsemen
Armor
being
coming
pushed
in
away.
now from Beastie.
Okay, desperately needed against all those archers, but won't really help him once we get lots of knights. And now the horsemen are going in for the raid, and some of those villagers are low from earlier.
Yeah, what's the HP on those villagers right there? Oh, he finds one right away, and will probably find a second one here, even a third potentially. Lots of low HP villagers there. 51 villagers for VortiX, 35 villagers for Beastyqt. He was at 13 in this game.
Well, he was at 12 in this game.
Was he? Oh, yeah.
And 11.
Okay.
And before that, 10. And before that, 9.
Yeah. Saturday.
And before that, 8.
This is why we
before
don't
that,
cast
7.
Listen, all right? More horsemen coming in.
And before that, 6.
Okay.
But
We
never
are in
lower.
I'll forgive you. We're in Germany. Horsemen now coming in against the archers. He has the range upgrade. Ram gets canceled, and those horsemen are very, very exposed over here. There's no spearmen to support them. There's simply 1 knight that is chasing the other group of horsemen over there. Second knight follow-up. So maybe BC needs to consider going back, but I believe he's chasing the villagers again with his horsemen.
Oh, the migration again here. Look at that. The knights are chasing the horsemen away this time, though. VortiX again back to a stable 20 population lead, and that lumber camp next to some wild trees. Remember, though, French only costing 25%.
Yep.
25 wood.
More spearmen. I just assumed that you meant wood.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just agree with you.
Clever.
Yeah. Horsemen raiding in the back there. Is there a timeline in which this game stabilizes and we go super late?
Stabilizes never. Can go super late, though, but it will always stay messy, right? Because all players are expanding so much wild economy, that you're always rewarded if you continue building army. But yeah, right now it feels like VortiX knows how open he is, plays a bit more defensively. If he manages to keep on defending, tries to clear up those towers, and Beastyqt sees, okay, I maybe need to shift the gear and go a bit slower, then we could go into the long game here.
I think BC just needs to prioritize keeping that tower up on that wood line. As soon as VortiX gets control of that wood line, he can kind of group his economy together once again, and he'll be safe against these raids. Also building up quite a few knights, as another one in the queue has 4 on the field now. BC still spamming horsemen, and he's got 13 horsemen. He sees the ram, and he's going to be able to take out this ram for free.
Oh, Spearman out of position, trying to build a second ram. That's an easy pick of -300 wood there without doing too much. And now the next ram is coming in. Beastyqt buying himself some time. Now jumps into the tower. I'm not even sure if that's too clever, because that means the Spearman will get more hits in.
Yeah, he's got another ram coming in. Spearman guarding the archers once again. The knights are ready to collapse on this. Beastie not raiding anywhere with his horsemen, fully focused on this. Again, it brings more longbowmen across and spearmen too, so those will help against these army numbers right now. 32 for VortiX, 25 only for Beastyqt.
Oh, look at that. Now the Spearmen are coming in. Only 2 archers, 2 longbowmen for Beastyqt. Tower likely to fall. Still 2000 HP. Looks pretty solid. Military numbers actually not that big of a favorite for VortiX. But right here, he's pushing BC back.
More spearmen coming across the field, but running into the archers. So those are free pickoffs there. It looks like 1 horseman trying to get in some counter raids there from Beastie. And the outpost has been cleared up. Horsemen are trying to engage against that ram, but they'll get tied up with the knights, and now Beastie is like, okay, if I can't secure your wood line, I'm going to kill your wood line, and he comes in to snipe those villagers that were weak from before. Only manages to get 1, though, so he moves on to the gold.
4 Spearmen trying to push him away. Gold will run dry there as well. That's our fault. And VortiX feels like he is stabilizing somehow. 60 villagers for him. Military-wise, small advantage as well. Now this tower likely to fall. Looks really good for VortiX.
He needs to balance with that market. Like,
Yeah.
he has
Oh,
the market.
God.
He really needs to balance with it. He's got 2,400 gold in the bank.
Well, yeah, as you mentioned, he even built it quite some time ago, right? Might have been with the plan there, Horseman at the edge of the map, but still getting away. It just feels like Beastyqt is underproducing Longbowman right now.
Yep. He has nothing to counter the spears. He's going full Horseman right now. Nothing to counter the spears, but it looks like he's also building up resources to potentially think about the third age. A position that I don't think he would have ever guessed he would be in when he was getting raided there on the wood line.
VortiX just used the market. So he is going up. He is building the guild hall there. No big surprise for us. And that will mean faster castle age time. Beastyqt is still a solid 500 foot away.
Yeah, he has Horsemen in the back, though. VortiX was forced to set up all his farming eco exposed there. And there's another outpost going up in the middle of the map. So it begins again for Beasty. We saw the outpost being cleared up earlier. He's now killed all those, or driven away all those resources to the right. And he's going to focus in on that wood line. Once again, map control in Beasty's favor, for sure. But economy and military potentially have to favor VortiX.
Let's take a look how this one progresses. Obviously, French can still get more villagers there, but we're seeing more and more losses. Beastyqt, what landmark did he pick? Most likely King's Palace, right? And he is a big hater of this landmark. He says investing 1,800 resources to only get 700 in return, which is the town center, is a complete scam. But still,
but you're going up to the next stage. It synergizes well with a good eco.
I'm just quoting him.
Okay. I don't know.
We are both disagreeing.
He's better than us, though.
Is he?
Yeah.
If we both play against him? Yeah. Well, I think still.
Okay, so there's another outpost in a similar location to the first, and that's going to be pushing VortiX away from that wood line for like the 5th time this game, and he's running out of other options. Honestly, he's already taken all his other options back there.
Look at all the upgrades now coming in. We'll get the Castle Age Knights, we'll get Castle Age Archers, Castle Age Spearmen, so gets all the veteran upgrades there. And VortiX army will be looking pretty hot pretty soon.
Villager
Still
difference isn't there anymore.
Uh-oh, raids were really good by Beastyqt, we have to say that.
Yeah, I think VortiX was up above 60. A villager population as the Rams come in once again. BC not going to bite on that. VortiX was waiting there to collapse on his military, and VortiX is going to be diving out for this outpost in the middle once again. BC still has Horsemen in the back, so if VortiX is too focused here, BC can do damage against those farms once again. These farms are back here because of the outposts that were there early for VortiX, denying the area around his town center, and he's been punished for placing those farms back there, but I think he's going to be able to clear up these Horsemen with the Spearmen now.
Yeah, after the berries ran dry, he thought about, okay, where do I send the villagers? Send some next to the farms, but in the end also had to spread a bit more there. Villagers now incredibly close, and this game is somehow stabilizing. This was so mad. Just remember, didn't we have like 13 villagers against 45 at one point?
Yeah, I think it was the maximum difference was 43 against 13.
Wow.
That's absolutely insane, and wouldn't be Beasty without some walls. And he's going up for walls just as the army from VortiX comes across. We got archers, we got spearmen, we have knights, and from BC we have horsemen, longbowmen, and spearmen of his own.
But not fully upgraded, right? We simply see VortiX with more upgrades on the units out of the blacksmith as well, and only 10 villagers can fit into the landmark. That means some villagers are going to die. Some at the front.
Yeah, Beasty hastily sniping the archers, but the knights are doing work at the front here. And has he done all this work for it to end like this is the question I'm asking. As the Rams come in, the knights continue to flood, and Beasty, even though for a brief second he was tied on villagers, it looks like he's going to give up a whole lot more again.
Oh, looks like it. Villagers in the gold exposed. Rams now coming in, deciding to go for the barracks first. Does not want to see counters on the map against his knights, and he is deep in the base of Beastyqt. He drops below 50 population.
Okay, does the previous experience make him less likely to give up in this situation?
I came back from 13 villagers. And now I have still 40, but look at that. 2 military and so many idle villagers. There's no way. He sees so much blue next to his starting town center.
Yeah, and he's not counter raiding or anything this time. He doesn't have outposts up on the wood line or anything like that. He simply has an economy full of his enemy, and I believe Beasty has given up. And what a wild game there. Went down to 13 villagers at one point, but he had control over VortiX's wood line. He had military forward, and he was able to do something with it. He's got to be just kind of thinking of what he might have done differently after the initial tower push. Like, he still had the longbowmen alive. They got cleared up. Then he went full into horsemen. Maybe should have added more longbowmen instead of spamming the horsemen.
A scout was missing. He didn't know where the army was, right? You always want to have your scout around. He heals up. He was more scouting. Okay, are you on the gold? He didn't really scout. Okay, how are you defending your woodline? It felt weird though, right? I think in a lot of games, VortiX gets punished for what he did. He's moving moving out of his base with a completely open woodline, with open barriers at the top. It simply was that Beastyqt only realized that the army was not protecting the woodline once it was in his own woodline.
Yeah. Whew. I didn't think we would get a long game out of that. But then again, the first game, I thought we would get a long game out of it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
subverting our expectations, for sure. All right, so we go into game number 3, and this will be Beasty's home map. The first map was chosen randomly. That was Hill and Dale. Second map was the home map from VortiX, and the third map will be Mongolian Heights.
It's the favorite map of the overlay guy. That's why he made it so big.
I was wondering about that.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's, if anyone knows Zilly, that is not just a little dry joke. That is him letting overlay guy know that it is too big and he is not pleased.
Nearly is not pleased with
we
the
are
overlay.
not amused. Do your job, please.
Okay.
And there we go.
Should I explain what happened there? I think overlay guy simply made the size and it adjusts if the civilizations are flying in. And he already was so generous, letting us know about the map before he knew about the civilizations.
He's looking at you right now.
I can see him. I will not. He's burning through my forehead.
Okay.
It's
also
English against Ruse.
Overlay guy. Beasty picked English last game, so.
Oh God.
He was looking at us like, look, I fixed
Look
it.
at my work. This is so bad. This is so bad. $100,000 tournament, by the way.
This is
And he was like, he has a rotating chair, right? And he just turned around like a supervillain and like, look at the work that I did, and just leaned back, was so proud, and then screwed up again.
Yeah. He doesn't get much sleep, so.
No.
Yeah. English against Bruce.
On Mongolian Heights.
Yep.
Favorite map of overlay guy.
Yep.
Bruce, we have seen them being played quite efficiently by multiple people, right? We have seen, for example, Viper start off with those, and we have the weird option to go for water. We have also seen some extra town center plays. We have also seen some fast castle plays, simply because Springles are so incredibly good at pushing the opponent away from water. Last patch gave out the extra damage output for them. Still crazy range, bigger than everything that you have on water and castle age, and therefore Ruse in mid to late castle will never not have the water control.
I feel like Roos, even in the early game, like a lot of... Oh, we get the close-up on VortiX. Slowly zooming in. There we go. And we're into the game here. I think the risk with playing against English on this map, if you go for fish, is that the longbowmen and the outposts can snipe your fishing ships and constantly do damage. But Roos, they don't have to stay near that dock. They can simply just spread their fishing ships out everywhere. So.
But you can also spread your longbowmen. And they're not healing if there's no dock.
Yeah. But then you can take fights against the spread longbowmen.
With what?
With your horsemen that you make.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Dave is expecting horsemen from the Ruse to deal with that threat here of the English.
Or
then
just FC and just let your fishing boats die. Or convert them.
Converting, the big problem is you're really getting outranged as well.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay, VortiX is going double scout here. Same goes for Beastyqt. And we will have the run for the deer. As you can see, Beastyqt, one scout to the top, one directly to the other side of the map. And that's a lot of sheep of, obviously, Mongolian Heights, the map in the map pool with most sheep.
There is the dock from our Roost player, Beastyqt. We saw a great match from him. I believe it was him and Leenock, where he was Roost on this map. Leenock was HRE.
Ah,
I
that
think.
one.
Yeah, and then he had like a couple pushes across the water.
Masteralty, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. Hopefully we get to see something of the same caliber here. And he's trailing. Wow, he's got a lot of sheep. There are a lot of sheep on this map.
Pretty damn crazy. So let's take a look. Oh, that looks good. VortiX will get the kill there. And now it's Beastyqt. Not getting
VortiX.
killed. VortiX twice.
VortiX gets the kill, and it's only 65 bounty currently for Beasty.
That's really low. 2 minutes into the game. Normally you already want to be above 100 here. Lots of sheep coming in. We'll obviously get 3 wolves, so that's nice. But didn't finish the deer spot at the top. Okay, now goes back to it.
Only going for 2 scouts as well.
Yeah, that's because we have the water approach, right? And if we build the dock, we are not going for the hunting cabin. Typically the building that we want to build our scout out of, and you simply want to save that wood, want to build the dock a bit earlier.
Okay, fishing ships continue to come out here for Beastie, so that's why we will see the economic discrepancy up at the top. Villager count reflects villagers and fishing ships. So right now it's 16 for Beastie, 13 for VortiX, and VortiX is going up.
Okay, now find the second deer spot. Still another wolf there. And the big question now, we already mentioned it a bit earlier. Longbowman's incredibly good in clearing up the water. So early feudal age, mid feudal age should be good for English. The big question, what does Beastie want to do? You already mentioned fishing ships, really good for Roost because they don't need the dock to drop off their resources.
Okay,
horsemen.
Wall-off's coming here from Beastie. With the fishing ships involved, maybe you could think about fast castling it if you don't see any pressure coming, or if you get the walls down in time. 3 wolves actually chasing him, so that's going to help a lot with his bounty. And he might be able to interrupt this deer patch over here, this deer patch killing from VortiX. We see both players' point of view now. Beastie finding the deer that are currently being killed by VortiX. Both players' attention over on that side, so they're going to wait for one to hit first, and then they're going to try and snipe the deer afterwards. So we see Beastie getting the first one there. I think VortiX will get the second one. Beastie not even focusing on it anymore.
Interesting that he doesn't try to focus, right? Why did he go for the second scout there? Did he get attacked by the wolves or something?
I don't understand. He only missed out on 1 deer, though.
Okay. Golden Gate now with lots and lots of villagers. Actually went to drop at the dock. A bit of a sloppy mistake. Not the biggest one, obviously, but for a short moment forgot about the chance to drop it off on his fishing ships himself. And how did that villager get there? I hate if they're spawning at the wrong side.
Yeah, she walled off the opposite side, so maybe he needs to go over to that other ford like he's doing right now, bring her over to his side, and then finish the walls. If he has the walls there, it's going to be harder for the early longbowman pressure to transition over to the land side of his area. But I want to know exactly what VortiX is up to as we see Beastie trying to finish off this wolf, and did he get that?
I think it was VortiX, right? Otherwise we could have maybe seen the numbers there. Longbowman men are now coming over. Villager pretty early. Maybe this wall won't finish, or maybe won't even go to full HP. Nice block here with the scout by VortiX. He knows that this is really important, that this wall does not go up.
Yeah, and he's bringing a villager across too, and he's sitting there right on top of the foundation with the scout. Beastie is trying to get the wall down. And now VortiX has a villager over there, so VortiX can get the preemptive wall, get a gate on that, and have a way over to Beastie's island, or not island, I guess mainland, from Beastie on the other side of that river. Also snipes the villager, so Beastie's going to have to worry about not only his fishing ships being sniped, but the economy as well.
And this is good for VortiX. He's now fully walled. He controls all 3 areas. Beastyqt, only 2 for now. Still the fishing ship advantage, but Longbowman will do some damage. I think VortiX can't be too unhappy with how this early game is going for him. But now the stable as predicted.
Okay, stable right there, and we've got a knight coming out from Beastie. The attack ship is now healing up beside that dock, so it's the movable force versus the stoppable object there. The boat that can't range the longbowman and the longbowman that can't kill the boat.
Well, will at least take quite some time there. It's getting on to higher numbers, but longbowmen, once they're in range, they're taking quite some damage.
And first outpost of the game as the knight comes through the gate, so maybe BC's going to try and raid a little bit. Oh, that was a scout. Okay. Baited.
Baited. Let's take a look. Larger attack ship still around. Now got another fishing ship out. And there's not too much control. And you initially said, yeah, maybe we will see a rather early castle age here. And I was a bit like, I think we will see more aggression. But it feels like aggression won't really pay off here. So yeah, castle age timing sub 12 minutes. Absolutely an option.
Knight charging in towards that villager. He's trying to snipe the villager before the outpost goes up, but the villager pulled away and now just getting shot by the longbowmen. And that's just a free unit, it seems like.
Well, some longbowmen went down, but yeah, certainly that slows down the Roost player quite a bit. Tower now goes up, also meaning that the longbowmen do some more damage.
Imagine you convert into a transport ship, transport a villager over to that fort and dink that little last piece of wall.
What area?
It'd be perfect. The wall over on the right side, so the VortiX can't go through.
But was it only one tile that was missing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, transporter obviously an option there. Also, you could maybe go for some sneaky stables, maybe some sneaky barracks later on, right? If you feel like you can be fully walled here as Beastyqt, then Men-at-Arms might be a crazy counterattack. VortiX, by the way, going for wheelbarrow, so it doesn't try to rush to Castle Age without eco upgrades.
Economies for both players looking fairly similar. The only difference being that Beasty, of course, has those fishing boats. So I believe he has got how many on the field? Maybe 4 fishing boats? 35 villagers versus 29. He did lose 1, so maybe he's got 6.
Yeah, something in the ballpark. And now it needs to pull those fishing ships away again. Oh, it tries to break that area. Obviously, it will take quite some time with arrows against the wooden walls.
Okay, so there's one knight at the back from Beasty, but the economy from VortiX is very condensed. So it's going to be really, really tough for Beasty to find damage there, especially with longbowmen in defense. I think VortiX suspects that there's knights over on his side, so he's going to keep some units back in his economy. Doesn't need to be on that gold currently, unless he's thinking about going up to the next stage. Right now, he's just producing.
I think VortiX could think about adding a dock and going for some galleys himself. Yeah. Just makes the clearing up the water so much easier. Then he can go on to fish some as well. Obviously, we'll never see a big fish boom because of the reasons that we mentioned earlier. And 9 fishing ships here. That's quite some economy for Beastyqt.
9 fishing ships. He's going to have to move them, though, because a second outpost is on the way here from VortiX, and the longbow numbers are starting to climb. He's got 12 on the field right now, so in big groups, they will start doing actual damage against these ships from Beasty. Beasty is building up a little bit of food, building up a little bit of gold, potentially thinking about going up to the 3rd age.
Okay, now the longbowen are chasing the fishing ships at the top, while the others at the bottom, which are actually pretty close to the tower, yeah, basically left alone here. A bit surprising to me. Felt like the easier attack. Still, I feel second or a dock for VortiX could pay off.
I think the longer this stalemate goes, though, just the better it gets for Beasty, right? Because he's bringing in food throughout this whole process.
And also, Roos are scaling better.
Yeah.
3 relics on the side of whom? I don't even see it. Is it a 2-2 split? We have 1 here, 1 at the bottom. Oh no, 3 on the side for Beastyqt as well. Has 1 sacred side, so if he goes Abbey of Trinity, gold income should be reasonable. And as we mentioned multiple times, if we go into the late game, Roos feel a bit stronger than English.
Looks like VortiX lost a villager on that outpost too, and of course he lost a villager on that back gold as well when the knight was charging in, so little bit rough for him as he falls further and further behind in eco. He's still not building up resources. Beasty has been floating 400 food this entire time. Yeah. Just investing into more military, and it's 3 archery ranges from him.
I thought he was going to Castle Age. Oh, that's weird. The center's still obviously not walled for VortiX, right? So that's open. That could catch VortiX off guard heavily.
There are a number of outposts there, though, right? I think he's got 2 or 3 outposts along this way, so he'll be able to see it when it first comes over, but can he do anything about it?
That's the big question. Right now, Longbowman at the defense, Woodline is open at the front. VortiX actually going onto stone, so maybe at the second town center would be pretty fortunate for him. VortiX now going onto stone? Maybe it's mainly for emplacements on his towers.
And there's the Knights there from Beasty. They're going to be heading over towards VortiX's side. And I'm assuming the archers will follow shortly. Beasty still building up more resources than VortiX. VortiX is going to have to go out to gold. He's got quite a bit of food in the bank. Needs that gold to go up to the next stage. And we'll know if he's planning something if that income per minute goes up.
Oh, that's so weird that he's trying to attack the side, that he's showing the Knights. And Beasty, he has the weird amount of resources. Could have easily been more units.
Exactly.
And so many times could have easily been him committing to
He's been floating 400 food for a very long time. I know it's difficult with the fishing boats. Like they bring in food like crazy, so it's always tough, but he's
Horsemen are not bad.
Kind of in the middle ground.
Horsemen are not bad against what he sees. Longbowman now dealing with those fishing ships quite nicely. He could go for more knights, could have committed to more archers. Now is thinking about going to Castle Age, though is not producing too much more. Only 1 knight in production. On the other side, VortiX actually going for siege engineers. He's going for quite some aggression.
VortiX maybe not suspecting that Beasty has the production he does with those archers behind. He's kind of still in the dark about a few things, and there's the first ram. VortiX is going to be pushing in, and he's going to come forward with the longbows here. Some cavalry at home from Beasty. I believe some cavalry across the river from him as well. And he also has these archers, but he's keeping the archers hidden. He didn't peek out at all with those things, so maybe waiting for VortiX to overextend a little bit. And then he's going to collapse at him. And at the same time, come in on this gold. This could be a lot of dead villagers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, instant pull!
Great.
Instant pull by VortiX.
Great stuff there from VortiX. I think he suspected that the Knights were back here, and he was ready for those to come in. 1 villager goes down. Knights shift over to the berries. VortiX now coming in. Has that ram a little bit far forward, waiting with the longbows behind it. Loses another villager on the berries, but that's so much better than it could have been.
Yeah, great defense here, and well, that push in BC space is not really finding too much either, and it just feels like VortiX is still kept in the dark. Now he sees some archer ranges, but he has no idea when they come up. He has no idea about the real archer count of Beastyqt. He's up to 20.
See, that ram is still working away at the wooden fortress, and BC still not engaging that, not showing the archers at all. He shows the archery ranges. But VortiX has no idea the sort of mass that Beasty has. And Beasty still has 5 archers in the queue, 4 knights in the queue as well. Still in that middle ground of resources. VortiX fully committing on H2 as well.
Oh, that's sick. How much reaction is forced, and it feels like Beastyqt is now charging in, sends the archers forward. Where's the cavalry? He also sends villagers there. He just got textiles.
He's pulling villagers. He's going to take out the rams with the villagers. VortiX will pull these rams back. The knights engage for a little bit, but the spearmen are there trying to be sniped down from Beasty, and Beasty has made his way around the spearmen. At the same time, he's engaging with villagers at the home base from VortiX, and VortiX is going to be pushed back here. There's no way he expected that amount of archers.
Oh, and I want to see that fight from VortiX POV again. I think he was distracted in the back because he simply sent in the spearmen, didn't micro them back, and now there's so many more knights. A misplay by VortiX.
Yeah, now he's just trying to take out as many archers as possible so he can get away from these knights once he's through the gates here. And oh boy, this is going to be really, really difficult for VortiX, because we were talking about it before. The economy for Beasty, as long as it's stalemated, will be superior. He's got 55 economic units, 41 economic units for VortiX. If you're in Beasty's position, do you keep producing? Oh my goodness, second town center there. That's another reason he's ahead.
Yeah, that explains it quite a bit as well. Knights are trying to find another angle of attack at the left-hand side again. Still some fishing ships, and we will see that army simply not having the spearman numbers. Only 6 spearmen on the field against a solid 8 knights.
I think you can go up now if you're Beasty. After you cleared that, you cleared 2 rams.
Okay, let's take a look at spearmen. Look at the spearmen. Now he has some spearmen being sent in. This is the big problem, right? Knights are coming in, and spearman numbers were already really small. So we missed the scene here, actually, but you simply see the result of it, that the spearman numbers were really, really low, and the knights doing more damage than they should have.
Yeah. And I suspect it had to do with the raids at the back there. As we go back to the game, and Beasty is all of a sudden on the wood line from VortiX. VortiX needs to abandon it. He's pushing forward with the longbows once again. This is kind of a desperation push, though, to see if he can find any damage on Beasty. Beasty still with a lot of gold in the bank, building up his food, so potentially able to go up to H3 soon. And VortiX pulling villagers. He's going to defend against these knights fine, I suppose, but he's down to 38 villagers now. And Beasty, 2 TC, still has some fishing boats, 63 economic units.
All the advantages. More map control, more water control.
Better late game civ.
Also, yeah, more relics on his side of the map as well, right? Then he has the advantage of also going for hunting cabins. Now is advancing to the third age. It has to be the area of Trinity if he wants to pick up all those relics quite easily, and indeed that's his choice. Allows Warrior Monks to build for half the cost, 3 relics on his side, 1 sacred side as well, and then maybe later on you can add them for some support in the big fights as well.
Yeah, this is really, really tough for VortiX. Look at his wood income.
Wow.
0 per minute, 9 in the bank. So even if he wanted to go for another push here, it's going to be really tough for him. He can't build a ram. Can't make anything.
Now it goes to at least 69, which is
nice.
And those spearmen are not scary enough. You simply see 4 knights still on the other side. Archers are dealing with that as well. Still behind this also like wheelbarrow for both players. So not even there. VortiX with an advantage. And let's see now Encarcelate, our player from Serbia. VortiX, is he pressured into attacking?
I think he has to be. VortiX isn't from Serbia. Beasty's from Serbia.
Yeah, Beasty is Encarcelate and VortiX might be pressured into
You said,
attacking.
let's see our player from Serbia. Is he pressured into attacking?
Okay, then I misspoke.
Okay. I just want to clear this up. VortiX
Nearly made a mistake for the protocol.
I'm doing it
Twitch
for...
chat, could you please do us a favor?
I'm doing it for Overlay Guy.
Clip this one. Nearly actually misspoke. We are only 1.5 hours in and nearly made a mistake.
I'm doing it for Overlay Guy.
Okay.
He deserves it. And there's King's Palace. There is King's Palace for VortiX, so he's going to try and pull himself back into the game. No crazy aggression from here on this transition period. He's going to fall back nervous about what Beasty has in the tank. And Beasty is already making a mangonel there and continues with the production. We can see 26 archers from him, 4 knights in front of it, mangonel on the way.
And triple barracks to follow this one up is going for more men-at-arms, as we can see here at the top left-hand side. And men-at-arms will be quite tricky for VortiX to deal with those if he only has spearmen, if he only has longbowmen.
Okay, here comes the army from Beasty. VortiX reaches the castle age. And what is the plan from here? Is it just going to be longbowmen, spearmen, it looks like?
Yeah, and men-at-arms are good against that, right? We see armor, already the second armor against ranged units coming in here for Beasty. And just tries to kill those, and just beautiful control by Beastyqt all this game. And VortiX, he can do nothing but sit at home, try to defend. Maybe he can defend off 1-2 waves, can play the super late game with the gold-generating farms for the English.
Do you think he should go to stone right now? Do you think he could place a keep maybe in defense?
I think he already went for quite some stone, right? He already pulled villages away from it because he got enough emplacements. But look at that, still fish around. And it keep can defend one angle, but there are 3 crossings. I think Beastyqt can find other angles. I think you need to cut some corners here. I think you will need to defend with some army and then try to get imp yourself.
Yeah, and it looks like VortiX is going to finish that wall finally. Maybe drop a gate that way. Or sorry, BC is going to finish that wall. And VortiX is dropping a wall of his own to that river area. So he's going to try and make himself safe for the longest amount of time. But like you said, the late game advantage is with the Roofs, and Beasty is just going to slowly build up behind this. He's fine with sitting back here. He doesn't really feel a threat from the English.
And he in general is so comfortable with like super late games, right? There's no one that is enjoying games that last more than 45 minutes like Beastyqt. There's no one that is just battling it out on the ladder, on the daily grind so much. He's just so happy, get the stone walls up, play the late game, and it just feels like his siege control is superior to close to everyone in the world, and we saw it in game number 1 with the Culverines.
Yep. Here comes the push against the gate. that's just an exploratory push, though, as the Mangonels now head in. And it's 3 Mangonels with that big ball of military. We've got men-at-arms in there. We've got archers in there. We've got some knights mixed in to supplement those Mangonels. And VortiX cannot take an engagement. I think Beastyqt could just keep pushing slowly with this force. I don't think VortiX can ever kill this.
And he won't mind that, right? Now he has enough stone for the keep. And there were some players that will now actively build the keep very far forward, trying to pressure all this area. I think Beastyqt more of the guy who wants to control the crossing.
And we saw that in previous games. He's actually got 4 Mangonels now. He's got the 4th one there. Potentially send that forward.
Second sacred site for him. And is he stealing the relic? Beastyqt, well, he has 2 in the Abbey of Trinity, as you can see at the top right. 1 in the hand of that warrior monk here, so should get up to 3.
Yeah, and the sacred site tracker will start to tick soon. The keep is forward. It's not super forward, but it's near that crossing in the middle. Like you said, the Mangonels are now supporting the military, and Beastyqt even goes for a forward stone there with those villagers, so potentially thinking about another keep follow-up once he has enough, and he's going to come in, maybe distract on the front, maybe try and convert the villagers on the side. There's also spearmen there. VortiX is going to have to be on the ball as Beastyqt comes right into the middle of this wood line, attacking with the warrior monk. Letting VortiX know, come on, Wololo!
No!
Oh, he brought it into his base. It was an express delivery.
Okay. Well, too kind, too kind. 9:30 to go with the sacred site timer. I don't really think this is the most important thing, though. I think VortiX could be able to reset the one at the right-hand side. But look at that. Now, wouldn't Fortress wall off?
I think with that position in the woodline, he would have got at least a couple.
Yeah.
Like, it's so
unless
hard
it
to
simply
path around
dies,
that.
right?
Yeah. But still, you got to try.
You gotta try.
Yeah.
I think just attack at the front with some Mangonels and then press conversion.
Yeah. Oh my god, going out to the stone there, and there's knights just waiting for those villagers, but the longbow mass is there, and there is a lot of longbows. It's 38 longbows for VortiX, but he can't engage against the 4 Mangonels forward from Beastyqt. Look at how varied that army composition is from Beastyqt.
Uh-oh, Mangonels maybe a bit too aggressive, but VortiX, where are your Springles, my friend?
He doesn't have any. He's got 1. He's got 1 Springald only.
That's not enough against 4 Mangonels. I think Beastyqt could just take a massive fight. Look at that, 79 military. Make it 85 now after some more units popped against only 58 on the fields. Plus 30 military. A big advantage for Beastyqt, and he just continues to wall off his opponent while raiding.
Yep, walling off the side. He's slowly tightening the noose once again. And it's going to be another keep, like Nilly said. Don't know where that keep is going. Is that in front of the previous keep?
Behind the raid, basically at the left-hand side to control the stone. What a crazy one.
It's pure map control for him. He's playing the late game, and he's playing the 100% victory. And here we go. Here's another Wololo. And VortiX, no! He doesn't give it to the fans. He doesn't give it to the fans. That would have been so beautiful.
Oh, Beastyqt is still clapping for himself. Like, he thinks he would have gotten that one, but I wanted to see it so bad, Dave.
He didn't kill the momentum of only Beastyqt. He killed our momentum too. What a competitor. Defeating 6,000 plus people at the same time while getting defeated himself.
If I'm going down,
I'm taking everyone with me. Yep. I was looking forward to that. That was great by Beastyqt.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, he played the win conditions there, and it was like VortiX wasn't even in the game at some point.
Yeah, it felt like a bit uninspired, right? The wall behind, we need to see more long movement through the center, the push, but we saw the wall off so quickly by Beastyqt, and I felt like VortiX could have pushed at the right-hand side, but then this one misstep where we lost all the spearmen, kind of costing him lots of the aggression, then lost some villagers at home, and all the while, Beastyqt was fishing heavily.
Yeah. The one push that VortiX tried, he did not expect that many archers behind.
He didn't know.
Completely caught off. And even if he had the spearman in the right position, like you said, maybe he kills 2 more knights, but the archers still kill his forward force. And there's still more production there from Beastyqt. So I don't think really anything could have happened there. And remember, he invested 600 wood into the Rams on that, and he invested into the techs as well for that. So it was really, really good from Beasty.
Yeah, did not underproduce the army. We felt like a potential early castle edge timing. And also that's the big problem with English, right? How do you get the scouting there? There was so much walled off, water control for Beastyqt as well. And that's why he had to make this weird blind push and didn't really know what was waiting for him, got clapped and therefore lost the game.
Okay, so we go into the next game, and this is going to be VortiX's second home map of the series. I wonder what he's going to pick. What is he known for? Is he known for any...
Hill and Dale.
Hilton and Dale? Oh, well,
for me, he was known for Hill and Dale HRE play. And yeah, that didn't work out too well.
Well, we've already had that.
Yeah.
Any other predictions? Altai?
Not really. Not really. Altai could be one. We will certainly see the two players ready and looking to go at it again. Putting on their pulse watches. Beastyqt looking really focused. VortiX, not too happy with how the last two games, or how the last game went for him.
Even the last two. Like, you think about the position he was in the one before this.
He had some crazy good decision making.
I guess so, yeah. Yeah. He managed to survive. Okay. We're waiting. We have Altai, King of the Hill, Lipany, and Highview left over. And, of course, the Delhi is banned. This is a best of 7. So BC needs 2 more wins. VortiX needs 3. Both players just deciding on their civilizations here. We will wait until Overlay Guy has the information.
I would expect something like Altai could take a bit of momentum away from Beastyqt, especially like English gone for Beastyqt, could go into a weird Chinese mirror. I saw VortiX play Chinese earlier this morning, but that was in the practice room, not practicing with his brother, but with Leenock. So was more of like, let's get the fingers warm than trying to play some crazy strategies.
And we've got Lipany, Abbasid, Chinese.
Wow.
Wow.
Why are we picking Chinese here? Where are we picking? Okay, then it has to be Abbasid on Altai.
Yeah.
Could we see that a bit longer, Overlay Guy? Because that is a bit surprising to me, how we distribute the civilizations there. It has to be China on Altai then for VortiX. Okay, and King of the Hill, potentially like a Mongol mirror. Highview, probably Rus against French or Rus against Mongols. So it's Chinese against Abbasid on Altai if we get to it. So we probably, if someone wins, might actually go into Altai with reverse civilizations.
This would be a big win for Beasty if he can win against Abbasid with Chinese.
Yeah.
Both civilizations known for their boom, but Abbasid at some point just hits that level where they can constantly spam units, and Chinese are going to struggle. It takes them longer to get there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Song Dynasty, you can produce so much faster, and we can see they are jumping into the game. The screens are lighting up, and they are ready to go for it. Beastyqt leading 2-1 in a best of 7, trying to make it 3-1 and give himself 3 match points.
What are the options here with Chinese? Do you go for that forward Barbican kind of style, try and deny the berries maybe from the Abbasid, and then Dynasty behind that?
Tower Rush is also an option, right?
Yeah.
Often do we see Abbasid trying to be greedy and then pushed away from Woodlines. Absolutely a thing. Lipany, obviously one of the maps where Woodlines are a bit more than in the Arabia game that we saw earlier. And now Beastyqt, look at that. He's hungry. He wants to take the 3-1.
Well, if he's hungry, he should have called HelloFresh. Just like you can with the promo code below the screen, N4C Fresh. Here we are into Lipany, game number 4 here, and we've got Abbasid for VortiX. We have Chinese for Beastyqt. We mentioned it before, Abbasid's so strong if they can get onto that 2TC boom. Their villagers costing half the price. Chinese also strong if they can get onto Song Dynasty, but it takes them quite a bit more investment to get there, so we might see some early aggression from our Chinese player in red.
Chinese, the civilization with the highest win rate in this tournament right now.
Yep.
Not picked very often. People aren't really comfortable with it. Was really considered to be one of the worst civilizations. Got a nice buff last patch. Now the Imperial officials collecting 80 gold, up to 80 gold. If you get all the upgrades, if you set them up perfectly. Otherwise 40 gold instead of 20 gold. So you need fewer of them to still collect quite a bit of gold.
Was it Beasty versus DeMusliM on Altai with Chinese versus Abbasid?
Where we had DeMusliM winning the outside push, I think.
No, he lost. The Abbasid lost in that matchup, I believe.
Then I misremember.
Okay.
I remember an outside win.
Because I believe it was a forward Barbican, and then he stonewalled him in. He had no access to resources. But it was a similar strategy as I could see unfolding here.
Okay, okay.
Forward Barbican, some towers along the edges, especially cut off those berries. So they're so valuable to the Abbasid to keep those town centers and military coming out. And then boom up behind at home.
Both players only going with one scout here. So both relatively happy.
Oh, was...
No, MarineLorD Leenock is one of the matchups later, I
see,
believe.
that's my mistake. I go and read chat. Yeah, I go and read chat. That's my mistake.
But only one message there. And obviously the Imperial official for Beastyqt continuing to collect all that gold for himself. More sheep now coming home as well. And neither player with the craziest scouting. Quite some villagers on wood already by Beastyqt. That's a bit surprising to me.
Okay, and we're looking at the sheep number. Decent number of sheep being brought in from Beasty right now. He's supervising the mill in the back, obviously. And looks like VortiX only went for one scout as well. So no surprises here. Both players opening pretty calmly.
Okay, woodline now taken to the front. The big question is, how long do we stay on gold if we are VortiX? Do we want to go for wheelbarrow? Looks for now 3 on gold, so we are aiming for 275 gold at some point to get not only fresh foodstuffs but also wheelbarrow. On the other side, Beastyqt, surprisingly high amount of wood.
And here come the Vills. Here they come. Okay.
But isn't that's too late, no?
So what is he scouted here? He's probably scouted all of VortiX's base. He's looking, does he see, he sees the berries and he sees the wood line there. That's actually such a good spot to set it up.
Look at that, the build order is not really lining up. Look at that, he can build the barbecue now, but he still has to walk another 20 seconds, 30 seconds. That could have been so much earlier, Dave.
Yeah, and he'll see that VortiX is already on stone here, getting that into the bank, and he goes for the barbecue in this. He's trying to hide.
No way.
Is he being sneaky?
Cancelled.
What is happening here?
And now build again? What? Why is it so defensive, Dave?
Was no one else invited to the barbecue?
Apparently. Maybe it was a vegan barbecue and no one showed up for good reasons.
Oh my god, in the stealth forest. What is this? It feels like there was a spot so valuable at the front there. I wonder what the follow-up is going to be from Beastyqt here. We can see his heart rate is spiking, so maybe he's realizing that the stealth forest is not the optimal position.
It has to be a continued tower rush here, no?
It has to be. Those villagers are forward anyway.
Yeah, what's the follow-up? Maybe we obviously can build a wood lumber camp at the front to save some walking time. But look at that. Like, VortiX, he's clueless. Like, where's the landmark?
Bro, he's just scouted all the way around his base. He's going to see one outpost coming up here, but he's got to be thinking to himself, like,
I don't know.
Did he make it over there?
Pushed? No, okay.
He must be thinking, like, where did he make it? Why didn't he put it on my base?
Yeah.
So strange.
Maybe he was Beastyqt scared that VortiX might pull like all the 18 villages that he had and maybe try to cancel it. But I don't really think that's such a big of a threat.
Okay, so now he sees it in the stealth forest. Scout gets hurt a little bit, and the villagers looping around the other way now for another outpost. So it's a slow push here from Beasty. VortiX is still banking up the stone and still looking for extra wood, and wood is going to be an issue as he goes to the back there. He needs to abandon the wood position at the front. So even if he wants to get that town center up, he does not have the resources for it yet.
VortiX floating quite some stone that he can't use. Will be really tricky for him. Archer now being out here, tries to push those villagers away. How fast did they just run? What happened there?
They're sprinting.
How did they just sprint?
Red
Okay,
Bull.
you didn't see it.
I didn't, no.
It was weird. Okay. They just ran pretty fast.
Okay, and BC split his villagers forward. So he's got 3 on the left side, 3 on the right side.
Uh-oh, that's a Night Archer pick up here, I think. Oh, that's going to be a sneaky attack. I think the tower should go up.
It should, yeah, it'll easily complete here.
Especially, oh, look at that. Those archers active, trying to find more villagers. VortiX knows you are not only sending 3 villagers here.
But
if you had 7 forward.
does BC get in that stealth forest in time? That's the question. He's gonna be in the stealth forest. The archer will go in there looking around.
He doesn't see them.
He doesn't notice them. Beasty is being very, very sneaky right here. A master of disguise, and he's going to make his way out of the other side of that stealth forest and loop all the way around to this wood line. VortiX is going to be punishing that archer later.
Hide and seek champion 2022, Beastyqt here. But VortiX, if we look at his scout, I think he might be... So yeah, he's expecting something.
Okay, so he sees the outpost at the back being
That's getting close.
built.
Villagers being pulled though.
Villagers being pulled. The Vills from BC are still working on this outpost. It's building quite quickly here. Villagers are going to be able to take this down eventually. One villager goes down from BC. I think this will go up in time. It does, but it'll go down in time as well.
Actually goes for more HP on that tower, but I don't think that should finish here, as you can see. And yeah, I think he needs to cancel that. Those 2 villagers are going to die. Nice defense by VortiX.
What happened to the other 3 villagers? That's what I'm asking as a horseman comes along now. Other 3 villagers are chopping wood forward. Okay.
Doesn't excite me too much.
And it's 3 villagers dead from Beasty. So it's 29 villagers from VortiX, 27 villagers from Beasty. And I wonder, VortiX, has he gone for that second TC? Yes, he has. Okay.
Oh, nice. Beastyqt, the big question. Song Dynasty, probably not an option for him here. Did we see Imperial Academy at home? I don't think we did. And now we see how they're macroing this one. Obviously, mainly booming for now. Both players with very little army on the field.
Imagine how good this would have been if the Barbican was on the berries.
Just so much better. I really am surprised. Might have to ask him if we get a winner interviewed there, what his thought process was. Maybe he thought, okay, Tower Rush always wins me the game. Now Horsemen are coming in.
Yeah, Horseman coming in, getting some good hits against the archers, but of course VortiX can always go back to that TC, so he does indeed do that. One archer falls, the Horseman's still raiding a little bit, but VortiX will be building up his villager count behind this. Beasty still in the Tang Dynasty, so he wants to make his way up to the Song eventually. Does have the resources to do so.
I think he wants to go Castle Age here, Beastyqt.
Okay.
And then maybe Man-at-Arm push. He already knows how good they are. We saw them basically being prepared in the last game. Obviously finished it before we actually got to the mass.
And there's a ram. There's a ram. Maybe clear up that outpost on the wood line. The other one over there to the right doesn't really mean all that much. So probably wants to clear up the one on the front wood line so he has some other options if he needs to move from the south.
Security goes for another extra HP on a tower. Cancelled it again, though. It's a bit of indecisiveness. Beastyqt, he has to go for the Clockwork Tower. No way around that one. And then potentially...
Oh, there's berries over there. Okay, I didn't notice that. That was a good outpost, I guess, from Beastyqt. Denying the berries. And VortiX is going to go clear that up. And indeed, it is the Astronomical Clock Tower. I think he was building some production buildings at the front, too.
Tower now going down, and indeed it's going to be the composition here with the Palace Guards. Wouldn't be surprised if we soon see a Blacksmith being dropped off as well. He needs some upgrades on those Palace Guards.
Okay, Horseman's still wandering around there, not able to do much damage though. Beasty gets to the 3rd age. The villager count is 42 to 34, so 8 villager difference here in favor of VortiX, and VortiX is now on those berries, so that's a lot of free food income for him, and he's going to shift that ram over to the outposts at the front. This outpost rush from Beasty didn't feel like it accomplished a lot.
Yeah, true. Well, he's still... What is...
Oh, okay. I was wondering what that wall was. I thought we were going to see something special there, like some trick that only he knew.
That was a bit of a weird one. I kind of imagined the question mark over that wall.
Yeah. Okay, so VortiX is going to wall off here. He can't wall across that stealth forest, of course, because there's a random Barbican of the sun inside of that. But he's not going to have any issues with that. And the Palace Guards will begin to come out. Beasty, though, struggling for production.
Do you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I won't stop singing.
Oh, what is this? He's on stone.
Wow, that's going to be a super aggressive one.
It's going to be a super aggressive. He could sit it right in between both of these TCs.
Oh, yeah. And
You have double TC production? I don't care. I'll kill all your villagers.
Chinese building speed, my friend.
Did he pull enough, though? That's my question. Did he pull enough?
It feels I would have pulled 3, 4 more. Berry village actually might scout this then. Villagers run away.
And he's more than happy to push him away with the scout and take damage, actually, against that ram with the horseman in the meantime. Maybe pull this army away. It kind of sucks attacking with that scout. At the same time, you push the villagers away.
That's so safe.
But it means that you need to place the keep way further back because you know the army is coming back in this direction.
I think I would have built the keep way more aggressively and just say, like...
he saw the army, though, with his scout.
Yeah.
There were spearmen there. There were archers there.
Yeah. How many palace guards do we have on the field? Only 5.
Yeah. There is a stone forward, though. If he wants to go for that stone to get a second keep, I think it would be smart. But he's going... Yeah, he's going for the stone. Okay.
Okay, palace guard trying to find something. Gate here tries to expand to the other berries.
How smart was this wall from VortiX now, looking at it?
So crazy good.
Great.
Absolutely.
Now he can focus everything over to the left side, or just go forward to BC's economy.
Horseman trying to get a raid in or what, but obviously Keep will easily defend that here. As you can see, easily 1 volleys. The Horseman here, 3 down.
Wow. 3 horsemen right away from 3 shots.
360 resources gone. Keep nearly paid off already. 800 stone there, obviously had to invest quite a bit to build them though.
He also has those villagers forward on the right side too, so he's making an outpost near that gate. And VortiX is like making these little compartments here. It's like the Titanic, you know? He just has to hope he doesn't hit an iceberg sometime.
Beastyqt, the iceberg. As you know, you can only see his head, but there's actually more body below it.
Yeah, there's. I think it's 90% more below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Beastyqt.
It's actually insane the way we have to maneuver his incredibly long legs around the other competitors. They kind of wrap in a semicircle around the room.
Okay.
Yeah. At night, he actually rolls them up to go to sleep.
What? Okay. Well, that's obviously an easy clear up, but the main story is that the palace guards at the bottom will find some villager kills here. Trying to pull those away. Spearmen for the defense at home. But VortiX, he's not really being threatened that much, and he's 18 villagers ahead. 18
villagers ahead. He's not being threatened yet, but there is 400 stone in the bank from Beasty. So potentially we might see, and he's got palace guards over here to distract too. So we might see another forward keep coming up. You said before with China, they just come up so quickly.
VortiX, if he idles now, probably can click up in 30 seconds. Then obviously another 1 minute 45 seconds before he reaches the castle edge. So Beastyqt, it feels like he could have a timing where palace guards are still really crazy strong, and maybe he could build a way too aggressive keep. I think VortiX senses this, though. He saw the keep over there. He knows the stones are over there. He knows the villagers are over there, and he's keeping his army in between these 2 town centers. He doesn't want that to work there. Also archers and camel archers, so he can snipe villagers if he needs to and loop around with the horsemen. Mobility from Beasty's army is not enough, and he actually goes for the Barbican now in the stealth forest. This is a weird spot. Where's the army? Palace guard now raiding from the bottom. We'll find some kills on the gold. Where are the villagers going to be? I think a suicidal keep should be an option. Not really happening, though. Pulling all the army away. Pulling all the army to the bottom side, though. There's a window here, I feel like, for Beasty to go in, but he's not really moving. So he's going to pull it there, and the villagers will remain on stone for the time being. Still 1,000 stone in the bank from Beasty. I would have liked to see some risky move taken. He knows he has to be heavily behind in villagers. Now 25 behind. 25 villagers behind. This is an insane strategy here from the Abbasid. We see it all the time with this boom. They can get away with it. It's very, very greedy. And now BC goes forward with an outpost, potentially to give himself some vision on where he wants to place this keep. Oh, maybe to save the villagers after that as well. More barracks here from VortiX. He's approaching that point in the game where the Abbasid can just simply flood. Oh, but flood against the keep is a big question. Villagers just one outpost and then went back. Oh, tries to overchop there.
And the palace guards, I think, were moving around, right?
Yeah, but only some, and that means he has no protection for those villagers. The keep is coming there. Out of line of sight. Oh, perfect placement.
Just out of the line of sight from VortiX. So great stuff there from Beasty.
The overchop. Oh, the wall behind the overchop. Nice reaction. And now he should punish all those palace guards, but some snuck in the back.
Yep, the keep will be going up here shortly, and it will start attacking the villagers on the gold. Beasty is getting closer and closer with these defensive offensive fortifications around VortiX's base. VortiX now has Golden Age Tier 2, so his economy will continue firing here on all cylinders. Increases his production too, so it's going to be pretty dangerous here for Beasty. The military for VortiX, 38. Military for Beasty, only 21.
But how does VortiX free himself? He needs quite some rams. Has 3 rams on the field though, and can obviously go for some more raids. Villager tries to chop the second layer now here. Should probably go through that, and we will see VortiX being pushed into the other woodline.
Yeah, and he keeps getting pushed to the right side here. He's got farms over there too that he's invested wood into, so maybe Beasty can cut those off. Maybe start stalling out the food economy a little bit from VortiX. There's a nest of bees in the front there. VortiX still can't engage directly against these palace guards and is struggling with the resource situation with all the outposts from Beasty at the back of his base. But if he ever finds an opportunity to go to Beasty's economy, it's all going to be cleared up here, and I think he should send the horsemen.
Well, he can. He can also try to protect his ram push, maybe do both at the same time. Feels like Beastyqt certainly not having the mobility, and that keep likely to fall. I don't really see a lot of protection. Goes for the tower first, though.
And a lot of units coming back this way. We've got camel archers, we've got spearmen, we've got archers, and we have 2 rams there with horsemen to support. So the villagers will need to fall back to this keep. Beasty is going to try and keep as many of those safe as possible. And here come the raids from VortiX. And I think Beasty might be realizing that his push didn't do enough here as the horsemen come in. His towers all go down, and his keep will be all alone on that side of the map.
One Imperial official goes down, and that's just so ugly. Look at the population, 80 against 140. VortiX in full control here. Doesn't have to finish this keep off, but knows, okay, my counterattack is doing so much. And where's all your base? You don't have any farms? Where's your economy, my friend?
His economy was at the back. See Vodka going back to that. It was all the deer at the back there, and the horsemen are going to wipe those up. The palace guards now struggling against the production from VortiX. VortiX, though, saying that, doesn't have anything in the queue right now. Is he saving for something?
Not really, right? I think maybe a bit of a macro problem. I'm a bit surprised as well, floating quite some resource here. I don't think Imp is really what he needs right now. I think counterattacks can still do quite some damage.
1,300 gold, 1,200 food. It's like he's kind of opening the... Okay, queues up 5 men-at-arms now, so...
Not a lot, though.
He's not using all of his food and gold. Still has the horseman at the back. Maybe feels really confident in this position. Maybe Beasty can try to get another keep down in the middle of his economy. Mista would try for a landmark snipe right now.
I would just wanted to say that. Let's take a look. Where was the positioning of the House of Wisdom? That's the main TC, right? Oh, no, that's the main TC. Okay. Now, then we are pretty far away from it, actually.
If you get a keep up north there, though,
okay,
maybe you can push in from that direction. You do have 50 villagers you can pull.
And you also have, like, nests of bees. Then
yeah.
Attacking into those keep is pretty much impossible.
Okay, villagers now abandoning the woodline. Looks like VortiX takes a few more of those. It's 97 villagers against 49 from Beastyqt. VortiX even starting to get some eco upgrades now, keeping his army at home, not taking any risks in this situation.
Spearman trying to chase this one away, but actually numbers not that pretty, and upgrades neither. Only Feudal Age Spearman not performing too well against Castle Age Veteran Horsemen here. Now another raid is coming in, and look at that, she baited away quite nicely. Horsemen are coming in.
It feels like VortiX is a little bit off here. Like, he keeps cutting production, and then he'll queue up, like, see, he just queued up 4 at a time, or he queued up 8 horsemen at a time. It's not consistent production from him.
Yeah, a bit weird for sure. And now we can see the nice defense by Beastyqt is up to pop 90. Tries to get another keep up, but Horsemen are already around. Not sure if that one goes up.
Horsemen are there, but it is a Chinese keep, and here come the Palace Guards. Here come the Nest of Bees. That keep should complete, and he should have a position to push in from this north side. Also to the north of that, completely exposed are a bunch of villagers from VortiX, but VortiX has shifted. When BC goes for that keep at the front, VortiX will go for the keep at the left side with his rams. So he's going to take advantage of the time and the military placement from Beastyqt and take out this fortification.
Uh-oh, that's a lot of exposed economy. Look at all those villagers next to it, and those Nest of Bees can find quite some damage. Keeps are obviously going down, but Beastyqt is still happy with how much damage he's doing.
Yeah, and the horseman rates in BC's base just
Nest of Bees
haven't
against the
accomplished
villagers.
that
Let's stay
much.
on there. That could be really bad. A bit higher, please. And then we see against the woodline villagers. Oh, just barely getting away.
Villagers now going to the lumber camp north of their former position. These villagers having to abandon all of the farms. That ram actually finishing off the keep there, and now the horsemen are in on the villagers from BC that had to go all the way out to the middle of the map to harvest those berries. He really needed that food eco. But speaking of going to the middle of the map, VortiX is on the run in multiple locations as well.
Still massive population advantage. It's only the problem with the 3 Nest of Bees that you don't really want to engage into, and that's why we see the Springles from VortiX on the field. Has 4, wants to snipe them from distance, doesn't really want to fight under the keep, or does he want to? He's starting to commit, and that's actually still some kills.
Yeah, and that feels so bad for BC. If you look back at this and you see the villager dead bodies, he's down to 42 villagers now, but he's found the villagers from VortiX on the berries here in the middle of the map. Nest of Bees will start attacking. VortiX not seeing that right away, finally pulls them away. Oh my god, how much economy is over here? How many villagers? Please select that and see.
66.
What?
And 3 Palace Guards already waiting as well. And another raid here. Beastyqt is actually making life really tough for VortiX.
VortiX down to 88 villagers now. That number will keep dropping as these Palace Guards attack. So many villagers coming back
could get there.
in here.
Just cut off the reinforcements.
The other Palace Guards as well coming from behind, but VortiX finally has his army mixed in. They're like, get out of the way, civilians. We need to engage.
Nest of Bees getting kills in there, Dave.
83 villagers now from VortiX. This is not the first time in this series we've had a game like this. The Palace Guards now engage against the Springles. They take out one of them from VortiX. The ram is making its way over to the keep. I don't think it's going to be able to do any damage this time, so another one being built there. VortiX with a lot of idle economy the last 3 minutes.
Ooh, that was really intense, but VortiX kind of maneuvered himself out of there.
I think he's being attacked on the right side too, maybe.
Oh, those villagers all idle. They're not really getting resources. Look at the income of VortiX. Yeah, you have 83 villagers, but no wood, no food, no stone income.
Yeah, BC is just such a master at switching between points on the map. Really keeping in mind the resource placements for VortiX, and VortiX is running all over the place. BC commits against this ram with the villagers, commits against the second ram now. Has the Nest of Bees behind, has the Palace Guards in front. If VortiX loses all of his army here, he could be in deep trouble.
Nest of Bees are dying though, but we also have boiling oil, so really tricky to fight next to the castle. And if the keep actually gets to kill that ram, we see VortiX has to go back, and VortiX heavily plummeting in population. And I think he will think he's in a worse spot than he actually is, because BC's pop is horrible as well.
BC 36 villagers here, and he's going to struggle to reproduce them. And I don't think. Yeah, like you said, I don't think VortiX realizes that Beasty is like below 50 villagers.
Yeah, and that like his overpopulation is only at 63, right? He just took a big fight, saw the Nest of Bees. Look at all this expansion. If only Beastyqt still had a tower there, if only he got some more raiding units in. But military, it's not really pretty, as we all know. Economy not good.
Look at
the numbers.
Yeah, but that's not an efficient economy. You can't tell me that's an efficient economy from VortiX. Has to relocate all of his villagers to the south there. The farming eco is all cut off. He remakes farms at the back, has to make a keep at the back. This keep is not near his landmarks. Nilly. That keep is very far from his landmarks. If he loses his army, there's a serious risk he could get landmark sniped here.
And Beastyqt has a lot of wood, right? He could technically go for close to 3 rams. No wooden come for Beastyqt right now. What's happened there? Did he get raided that heavily? Look at the space. It's a ghost town.
Yeah, the villagers are all out on the berries in the middle. He's got some on the stone there. They're on the berries, and I think he was chopping wood forward, and now he's on stone again. He's like, screw it, whatever.
What's happening there? Beastie is just so aggressive, so much out there. Next keep. What do we need to see from Beastie? Traps not really being an option, right? Yeah, you can maybe pressure the landmarks, but I was a player doing too good of a job of getting to springouts for the defense.
Yeah, more units getting sniped by that keep there. VortiX continues to lose military to these fortifications from Beastie. Got 137 pop from VortiX. We have 71 population from Beastyqt.
And the first trap out as well for VortiX.
Yeah.
Tries to clear up all those keeps, tries to get some more.
He's already got one on the field too. So he's got another one in production. I just wonder what he's attacking with it. Okay, he's going after that outpost, and he'll follow up and try and pressure that keep on the hill next.
Beastyqt trying to wall in VortiX here. Left-hand side walls till the edge of the map. Not really the area where VortiX needs to expand though. I think right-hand side is the area with way more wood.
And there's a dead villager body, showing you how well she did. I thought she was still building,
actually
honestly.
Died against the wolf.
Ah!
I thought, like, what blue unit came there? But VortiX, he doesn't even need units. He just needs the AoE on his side.
Yeah, he needs the wildlife. All right, BC looping around to the right side, looking for more villagers. That is a good play to search over there. He didn't suspect that VortiX literally pulled 66 villagers from this location, all to the south end of his base. And there's another keep from VortiX, this one in a much better position.
And even pulled villages away. Felt like, hey, that one is going up. I can move further back. VortiX. Now the big question, how long he should stay in Castle Age out there with the traps. He can clear up those keeps. Could maybe think about imping. Could think about some more range on his springouts, for example. Elite, Man-at-Arms, an option. But I also could think, wow, most likely options that you will have to Castle Age all in. I will do some counter-attack, and then with full Castle Age, we'll easily defend.
Yep. And there's the counter-attack right there. Finally heading out with a decent number of military units, not just the horsemen that we saw before. The problem with this counterattack is, like, we had problems with the observer finding the economy from Beastie. Where is he going to go? I guess there is, though. There's only 2 landmarks left for Beastie because the Barbican went down in the middle.
Oh yeah, and we're only Castle Age. I'm not sure if we...
Oh no, I guess it's still up.
Oh, so probably even 4 landmarks, right?
Yeah.
I would be really surprised if we didn't go Song Dynasty.
Yeah. Villagers now running away from those men-at-arms. Beastie still at 43 villagers. That second town center will be taken down. And the walls continue.
Obviously the town center are not relevant. When it comes to the potential landmark snipes, it's mainly to put on some pressure, but those men-at-arms, they're completely unanswered. Actually, like, why aren't you just sitting on the town center?
Yeah.
Now we see big engagement here. Springald against Springald is the main story.
Springald against Springald, and it looks like Beastie is driving this military back, but the Trebs are behind all of this, and of course the Keep is getting some good shots in there too from VortiX. VortiX now attacking the home economy from Beastie. 44 villagers for him, 109 villagers for VortiX. More map control for Beastie, but what can he really do with it at this point?
Over 100 population advantage. Beastie now moves in there. That's not really what he wants to do. He wants to snipe some more traps, but still not the greatest engagement there. Some HP lost on all his units. 1 trap still alive. Builds another keep very defensively, but has to cancel.
Yeah, has to delete that keep. Under construction, loses more villagers at the back there. There's 2 villagers here, 3 villagers there. Most of his villagers, I think, are forward, and VortiX is going to decide just to attack the landmark at home from BC, sit underneath that TC, and go for the clock tower afterwards. Of course, he knows where the Barbican is.
Typically, in RTS, map control, a massive thing. But Beastyqt, although it feels like he's controlling 80% of the map, just so heavily behind in population that he is forced into desperate moves and might be completely cleared up here. So much army now coming in for VortiX. He will win this game.
Yeah, and there's no way that that keep goes up. VortiX is going to be targeting these villagers. Even a Wallalow at home from Beastie while VortiX came in, and VortiX pulls away from that. no villagers building, maybe one villager continuing to build that keep behind, and BC is going to call the GG in this situation. Yep. 2-2.
Whew. And VortiX, you see how much it means to him. Just intense. And, well, Beastyqt really putting on the pressure there. Early Barbican, then the tower rush to follow it up. But we kind of felt it did not achieve too much, especially because the Barbican needed to be at least 3-4 more tiles further forward, pressure that woodline, pressure that berries directly.
We'll have to ask him about that. In the stealth forest, like, what is really going on there? We're not 100% sure, but I will say both of the maps that Beastie has lost have been back and forth games like that, or crazy games like that.
Yeah. Absolute mad, right? And how tough it is to maneuver those spots where like there's constant raiding going on. So if you overlook one thing, you might just die. One tower in the back wood line, suddenly you're out of wood. One tower at the front, and your berries are getting pushed away. That VortiX needed so much as well. And Beastyqt at the same time, he expanded beautifully, but simply lost too much momentum with losing the forward villagers.
Yeah. Okay, next map, and it's going to be Beastie's home map. And I believe we have Altai left. I think we have Highview left.
Altai feels likely. Altai feels likely.
He also... Is there anything you can do if VortiX decides to pick Chinese on Altai? Because VortiX's Civ picks are pretty straightforward, it would seem like, for the remaining maps, right?
Did we all? Yeah, I think it was Chinese against Abbasid. I predicted like Altai to be game 5 with the switch civilizations.
Okay.
Huh.
Because they have King of the Hill, Altai, and Highview. He's got French, Chinese, Mongols. Or no. Mongols, Chinese,
Abbasid.
Abbasid.
And then the other side we still have Chinese. No,
Yeah.
not Chinese. We have. Well, let's just look at the overlay. Makes
Overlay
our
guy.
life so much easier. And he's just like yeah.
No
we could
transition.
have more info on Wikipedia, my man.
MarineLorD versus Leenock, 19 GMT.
Oh, I think I will tune into that.
I think I will too.
No,
I think I'm actually going to be casting that.
I think so as well.
Saturday.
Do you know why?
Saturday. Perfect. Thank you for joining us, friends, throughout this whole event, and thank you for joining us today. And make sure you let your friends know that also enjoy AoE 4 to tune in to this semifinal. 2-2, very exciting. And our next semifinal, MarineLorD against Leenock. And then, of course, tomorrow we will have lots of fun show matches, and then we will make our way into the best of 9 grand final. We have King of the Hill for game number 5. Both players with Mongols still available. Beastie with French available, which is also a possibility on this. And VortiX kind of limited here, I think, maybe to Mongols.
It's so straightforward, yeah. But Mongols are fine on King of the Hill, right? Especially against French, you don't mind it. Rus, great on Highview. Chinese, really, really solid on Altai as well. And we will see, indeed, Mongols against French. So we will have Mongols, Rus on Highview, and Abbasid Chinese on Altai if we need those 2 remaining maps. As you know, best of 7 means whoever wins 4 maps wins the whole set, goes into the finals tomorrow, 16 GMT, best of 9. With great show matches, you said it earlier. What do we have in store?
We have a Nilly versus Drongo show match. Drongo is furiously practicing in the back room. He's getting ready for his epic meetup with Nilly.
And Drongo will decide the map and both civilizations, while Beastyqt, DeMusliM, and Viper are going to cast, unless Beastyqt makes it into the finals. And after that, we will have your show match pick.
Yep. Which is...
You have 2 players, DeMusliM and Viper, playing against each other.
Okay, it's DeMusliM and Viper. Okay.
And they will pick civilization and all the landmarks for their opponent. So they can say, play English, go for horrible landmarks. Go play Delhi, go for horrible landmarks.
I think Chinese needs to be banned out of that.
I will allow it.
Okay. Like you're going to allow them, or you're going to allow them?
I'm going to allow you to ban them.
Oh, okay, good. Good.
Good.
And now we have VortiX against Beastie fifth game in this best of 7. It is 2-2. VortiX has gone for the expected civ Mongols, and Beastyqt has countered him a little bit with the French. Both very good civs on this King of the Hill map. What is the key here for the French to take out the Mongols? Do you have to stop that tower rush early?
Let's see if we even see a tower rush, right? We have Beastyqt also opening with an extra scout. He is the Mongol player, so the French player. Yeah, that makes so much more sense. So Beastyqt, double scout play, and we have an extra scout for VortiX. And obviously, as we know, King of the Hill, only one landmark in the center, lots of gold in the center, and the major object as well is to deny wood of your opponent in French. Really struggling there, right? Yeah, you can move a bit, but Mongols can pressure you so much so early on.
Khan making its way across the field, and I think we saw, was it on King of the Hill yesterday where Khan sniped like 4 sheep from the opponent, which is absolutely brutal. So if you can start tailing your opponent's scout, maybe that's an objective in the early game when you're looking for scouting.
For example, Grubby being a big advocate of having the Khan not having ranged attack in Dark Age.
In motion.
No, just in general.
Ah, okay.
No range attack in Dark Age.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because also the harassment of all the gold sometimes feels weird if you only have one villager on gold, have to be pushed away. But in this case, we still have it in the map, and therefore Beastyqt has to be on his toes, or maybe has to accept 1-2 sheep losses.
Scout added from both players. Beasty getting a little bit close to that Mongol town center. Only gets fired at once, though. So he's going to escape there. He's got 6 sheep now trailing him. I wonder the sheep numbers for our Mongol player. And
we have 13 for Beastyqt.
Yeah.
And on the other side, we have VortiX, obviously with an early pasture, sits at only 9.
Okay. So that's pretty low for early pasture.
Yeah. And now, did we add a second? What? Oh no, we're just going for normal gold there. Now on the way to Feudal Age is Beastyqt, our player in the French trunks. Obviously the red player, Beastyqt, playing from the left-hand side. Could be a bit confusing, but Twitch chat, you are clever. You will manage that.
So what's the opening here for French? You just reactive opening? Are you waiting to see what your opponent's going to do?
Kind of has to be the School of Cavalry. It kind of has to be archers as well to deal with potential spearmen. If the opponent is going full horsemen, you can maybe go for professional scouts, go for some of your horsemen yourself, and hope that you will have the better economy because your eco upgrades are so much cheaper.
And then for Mongols, if you're not going for that tower rush?
Well, then horsemen, trying to deny those professional scouts, maybe trying to go for some archer pressure against it a bit, have to go for spearmen with it though, and most of the time it just feels like Mongols, they will get some early aggression out, but then they feel like they're a bit on a timer simply because French can build those villages so much faster.
Okay, so both players just kind of scouting right now. We're waiting for the second age to come in. Beasty is up right now. Looks like VortiX has just started building his deer stones. No silver tree here in this matchup.
Especially on a map without any neutral trade posts.
Exactly. That would be kind of a meme, though. Maybe the show match tomorrow.
I'm not really sure where Overlay guy is and why he... Well, you all know it's best of 7, and we are in the semi-finals. Yeah, Silver Tree not to be seen, but this is a reasonably late Feudal Age timing here. I'm a bit surprised by our Mongol player, maybe due to the pasture.
Going for the more greedy approach.
Now some 3 villagers on gold here. Gets a good look at this.
Nearly snapping at Overlay guy.
Well, won't really... he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Okay, new age begins for Beasty there. VortiX still making his way up, and Beasty immediately cues a knight. So he sees that exposed gold over there. Maybe wants to go hit that a little bit. Maybe wants to loop over and see if there's any other resources he can punish. But the Gur is on the move, so the Mongols player not going to be very exposed in this situation. And now there's a blacksmith being up or added from Beasty for those free upgrades.
That's a bit surprising because free upgrades are only one upgrade, and that's the attack upgrade. Not the craziest thing ever. If you look at a knight, damage output pretty strong to begin with, so percentage-wise not adding too much. Wheelbarrow already in for Beastyqt. Now we also see professional scouts. And some more scouts added will put him up to 3.
What's the difference in speed between that con and the Knight?
I think they're both at 162.
Okay. And wow, walls coming out early here from BC. So he's trying to secure this side of the map, and it's actually a decent enough walling situation for him. Cliff to the trees, it's pretty far away, so unlikely that there's going to be a villager all the way over there to chop through immediately. Just trying to keep himself a little bit safer against the Mongols.
Oh, makes lots of sense. Controls the map a bit more and knows where to put his archers. And now goes for those scouts there and goes for the professional scouts. With all of them to the bottom. Now we see VortiX going for Spearman and the hardened upgrade.
Okay, so VortiX is going to be double producing those spearmen behind you. You can see them running across in 2s. And professional scouts coming out, like you said, from Beasty. Where are the deer spots for him? Are they close enough?
Them double D spot here, so pretty easy.
And that's where the spearmen are going right now.
Oh, makes lots of sense. And we still don't have an archer range, at least not anything producing here for Beastyqt. Stays on one knight, the rest is scouts, and this should be pretty good. Let's take a look. The knight is actually falling. Beastyqt, untypical slot up.
Yeah, throwing away that super valuable unit at this stage in the game. He was picking up the carcasses with his scouts, so maybe not paying attention, maybe didn't expect that level of spearmen coming across the field. He will be able to get 5 carcasses in, and he'll probably be able to snag a few more as he goes for an archer range to deal with those spearmen, but you can't help but feel like it was a little bit too late. It's like, why would you go for the blacksmith first there?
I'm surprised as well. Maybe there is exactly one breaking point where a knight does like 3 hit without the blacksmith, then 2 hit with the blacksmith, or something that I don't know of. Certainly something for the interview afterwards. Something that we have to mention. We thought, okay, deer pretty close and pretty nice that it's together, but now obviously VortiX only needs to defend one spot if he wants to limit those scouts.
Yeah, the deer being together is a huge pain. Maybe like he can sneak a few of those carcasses because the spearmen aren't super fast, but it's going to be tough for him. He's going to have to be pretty clever about it. Villager now walling to the middle there. Scout stopping in the middle of the wall, though, and now the spearmen are all moving up that way. Scouts from BC will come along and push the scout away from VortiX, which means he can wall up behind this. Also means the spearmen will be pulled a little bit out of position, so potentially could come back for those carcasses while the spearmen aren't there.
That would be a sneaky move, but spearmen split there. Some at the aggression at the top, and some at the defense at the bottom. And now archers should easily deal with this. Nice control by VortiX, and look at his resources.
Yeah, they're kind of insane right now, and he's thinking about going up to the 3rd age, and it's only been spearmen for him. It's been very low effort push here, just staying on these deer because the archers weren't on the field early enough. BC has enough archers where he can push him off these deer now and grab the carcasses once again. And BC actually building up some resources too, so maybe he's going to be going up to the 3rd age as well as he begins to raid the gold.
And look at the stone as well from VortiX. Will be able to build quite some stuff. Now goes for Lancers. Interesting choice. So will be Spearman Lancer. Not sure how many more Spearmen he is going to add. We have seen this earlier by VortiX, right? When he played against TheViper, where he only played... Oh no, was it against TheViper? I remember one VortiX game where he... No, I'm confused. I will take it back.
I just wonder, like, is he counting on there not being walls there from BC, on there being openings for the Lancers to hit the eco, or is he going to take a straight-up fight down the middle with them? Oh, wow. Scouts being taken out there by the Spearmen. So we were talking about them bringing in carcasses. I mean, he's down to 2 scouts. He had 5 at one point. But great engagements there from VortiX as he moves that step readout over towards the gold. I wonder if he goes for the mine gold and then buy wood approach and add the second town center behind. We've seen it like 3 times in the tournament.
Oh, great strategy.
For a human.
Not the greatest efficiency, but pretty easy to play. We all agreed on that, and now the second archery range being added. Obviously, Abilitaire will be great against the Knight raid or Lancer raid, and okayish against Spearmen if they are behind walls, if they are able to defend.
Okay, so Knights, BC utilizing their mobility and sending them back to that step readout. VortiX, knowing that's an issue, he's got a couple spearmen there, and he's sending 4 more, so should be able to defend on that side. And here comes the wall from Beasty. He's going to give up on those deer. They've caused him enough headaches already, and he's just going to try and secure himself and just capitalize on his superior economy here with the French.
Okay.
Is that wall? Yeah,
To the edge of the
wall was hit, I guess. It was ticked.
Oh! Scout? No, he can't go through. But still, another villager could fall, even though that we have the Khan having reduced damage output here.
She's dead.
Still enough. Still enough. Knight Arbaletier. The army composition for Beastyqt here. Now tries to jump under the town center, but VortiX instantly sees it.
BC's also on stone, so maybe thinking about a keep at some point.
Obviously, really good for French, right? I've said it multiple times, especially if you get some foothold in the center and you can build your stables, your archery ranges around it. You can produce so much easier. Probably followed up with a monastery, get control over the only sacred site, the one in the center, and
there it is.
get some control. But
There's the market, step readout, and there's the second TC. So VortiX is going to be booming up behind this. Will it be enough, though? Will it be enough? Because Beasty already had the lead from that French TC. He already picked off a few villagers earlier. He has wheelbarrow. He has the better economy at this point in the game. And I don't know if VortiX can boom and keep up production at the same time.
chivalry relatively late, and look at that. You have your answer. Beastyqt goes for the second town center, so he will be keeping up quite a bit as well. And now we have the army pushing VortiX away. Military count reasonably close. The big question will be, where are they placing their castles?
Oh, is he going to chop through?
Beastyqts.
Sending a villager forward. Potentially thinking about a chop through with this bill.
But where?
Getting the Lancers into the economy. I don't know. Or maybe it's an...
At the very bottom?
Is it like an outpost instead? What is going on with this villager?
I won't mind an outpost, honestly. Gets him some more vision, gets him some more mobility. Goes to the top, but Lancers are already, or Knights are already around there.
Knights are around there, but I think the Knights are going to miss this army just by a couple seconds. The villager will go through up there. The Lancers looping around on that side. The gate does see the villager. Whether he notices that blue dot is another question as she begins to chop, and the Lancers could potentially get in on the stone here, but the Khan... Oh no, the Khan attacks the gate and gives him a notification of what's happening.
Oh, look at that. Now walls behind this one. Obviously the Khan might still find a villager kill, but now further away. Oh, that auto attack really hurt VortiX.
Yeah, really, really bad stuff there. Letting Beasty know that the counter attack was coming. The walls will go up behind the archers, and Arbs will be shifted over to that location. At the same time, I believe Beasty was going forward with a few Knights looking for some eco damage. And he's got quite a bit of stone in the bank too, so could be able to get that keep up soon. Is there any military at home here from VortiX? Okay, there's a couple spearmen waiting under the TC.
But that's not enough. Against Chivalry Knights, he will just trade off against the spearmen, heal up, and come back later. Oh, but more spearmen even.
More spearmen protecting the step readout, so great stuff there from VortiX. Didn't go for the outpost there, but has spearmen waiting for that army. He knew it was coming, and here comes a monk. Bringing back the first relic of the game.
More barracks even. Interesting choice there for sure. Villagers now don't even bother with shooting at the Knights. Uh-oh, that's quite some army moving forward. And Beastyqt, he wants that keep next to the sacred site. But look at that, towers to protect.
Towers to protect, but how strong really are those towers if you only have 14 military to back it up? 27 military on the field from Beasty, and he has the superior economy, and he's going to be going for that keep right beside these towers from our Mongols player. And remember, on this map, there's only one sacred site, so if you capture that, all you need to do is hold it for 10 minutes to win the game.
VortiX even researching siege engineers. He felt like he wanted to make some push happen, maybe improve siege engineers. Now the push in the center, sacred site, won't be controlled, and Beastyqt with a beautiful position in the center.
Doesn't have enough stone for another follow-up keep, but can keep his villagers mining up there and can capture that sacred site. He's got a monk in the queue right now, and I think he's thinking about doing just that. Our Uvu is depleted for the Mongols. I wonder where he goes for the next one.
And the center, obviously, pretty easy choices with 3K. Could move quite a lot of stuff there and maybe go further down. Also an option for you. Right now, no one really controlling the sacred sites. More towers being dropped and game somewhat stabilizes. Maybe let's take a look at the guild hall and see what we put it on to. And it's actually gold, but just collected some other resource.
Yeah, only 20 in there, so not too much there for Beasty at all. What's your game plan once you see the keep come up from the French with the Mongols?
Well, you can still deny the sacred site, right? So you don't need to get too nervous. We still have step redoubt. We still have double town center. We are getting some relics. So VortiX on the way of setting himself up reasonably well, right? And the winning condition in the center, not really activated. So I think Mongols not in the worst spot.
You can deny the sacred site, but can you deny that second keep if he wants to place it there?
Well, you're trying to build some angles now. You're trying to go for something, but look at that. Beastyqt, he feels like, okay, the only way I can lose this is by some counterattacks. I'm so well set up in the center, and now you can see him stonewalling.
Yeah, and he's just kind of driving the Knights off. Beasty still has quite a few units in production, getting boiling oil now, getting a Springald out onto the field, so he's happy to be sitting in that position, and he's still running around with these Knights at the back of VortiX's economy. It feels like Beasty has not been reacting to VortiX this game. VortiX has been reacting to everything that he's doing, especially after that first initial Spearman push.
Look at that. Double Siege Workshop now. Knights are ready as well. Goes for some more relic control himself. Sends them to the center. Tries to debate a bit more. But wow, VortiX absolutely on point. Has enough Spearmen. Yeah,
great defense there from VortiX with the Spearmen. Villagers taking more stone now. We see 500 stone in the bank for Beasty, so maybe thinking about another town center. He's hitting the villagers on the wood there. Saw the second town center from VortiX, so should have a pretty good indication of how good the economy is for the Mongols player, but he knows he went for his own second TC, so he should be fairly confident. As Trebs are now on the field from VortiX, but that's going to take a while to take out that keep.
Some pastures being built with a mouse, not really using the hotkey there, and wants to increase his food income a bit more. Tried to think about some upgrades, decided against it. Now another trap as well, wants to take those keep down in the center.
I feel like I saw VortiX yesterday building outposts with his mouse too.
Oh god.
And it's like, how many games do you build outposts, right? That seems really weird that you would be clicking that, but maybe, I don't know. Different players have different preferences for stuff. Is very, very strange to me though, as now Beasty shifts over to the north side with a big number of Knights and some archers to push away the Spearmen as well. Kind of baited them into the archers with those initial Knights, and he's going to loop around to the north side and try and hit the eco once again. I just wonder, where is the second keep going from Beasty? He doesn't seem all that concerned about the trebuchets attacking his keep right now.
Goes for some more repair. If he keeps that one up, oh, that's some exposed villagers. Knights around. Archers will certainly find something. Step without. Only now coming in, and that will be a pretty ugly area. And those villagers, what are they up to?
They're idle. The villagers are doing nothing. The Knights charge in, and so many villagers go down. The archers also shooting at them. Is that his only gold he can take safely?
Well, there's still some in the center where he has a lot of towers, right? But obviously King of the Hill, yeah, you don't have too much at your starting base. Some Knights now trying to get into some more raids. Beastyqt, roughly 20 villagers ahead and still getting more control in the center. Nice raid.
It might have been when the readout was unpacking. They got pushed back because they were going back across it.
Yeah, I think so as well. Maybe going directly over it. Now more Knights are coming in, finding quite some kills here. Beautiful raid by Beastyqt.
Yeah, great stuff. There's only one Spearman there too. The keep is going down, but it looks like there is a keep behind that. So Beasty will just keep falling back and keep raiding the economy from VortiX. VortiX sitting at 65 villagers right now. Beasty at 94.
VortiX and Beastyqt both having 2 of the relics. I think one was still in the center. Now Abilitea's chasing, yeah, that's the extra relic. Abilitea's chasing the Spearman away and trying to maybe attack the Step Redoubt again. Could be pretty ugly, because I would be surprised if VortiX has a good army against this.
I like the switch up here from Beasty. He knows that gold is the only source currently for VortiX, unless he wants to take a little journey
Springles in
into
the
the middle
center.
here. And Springald's coming in for those trebuchets. He's kind of pulled him out of position, and the Springald should be able to snipe here. One shot, one treb goes down. At the same time, he engages against the Lancers in the north. He's going to take them out.
Only took one trap with himself, and now we see the Lancers are falling there. Could be a nice push into the gold. Monimam could go down. Springald against Springald fire. Really important to keep those traps alive.
Yeah, but what does VortiX have over in this location to deal with that army? It feels like he doesn't have anything, and if he pulls the army from the middle, there's going to be an opportunity there for the Trebs to be sniped once again, because the Springalds are still there from Beasty. So this is a really great mix-up here from Beasty. Great positioning from him. VortiX is super struggling, and he has pulled his entire main force.
Okay, but Spearmen are okay, absolutely, against some villagers, but some villagers are already back at it, while the Knights are still next to the gold. There will be some losses, Dave.
Yeah, more villagers going down to 60 vills now. Beasty is 40 villagers ahead in this matchup, and more villagers dying. Look at all the dead bodies there. 58 villagers for VortiX. Beasty tried to take that timing window to come out and snipe those trebuchets. The trebs were pulled back in time, but he has full control over the middle now.
Ooh, what a rough game here. So many raids coming in, and VortiX is trying to contest the center, but now pushed away. And now the first monk is coming out. Beastyqt, in not even 11 minutes, will get the W unless unless VortiX will reclaim the center.
But how does he reclaim the center? Every time he comes in with those trebuchet, I feel like he's just going to get sniped, and he's going to constantly worry about this army of range units over here. All the while, Beasty, I mean, he continues the production, he continues the upgrades coming in, and he's going to start attacking that, capturing that sacred site now.
Getting pushed away on this end. Knights, oh, not actually getting pushed away till the end. Now Abilitaire upgrade as well, flying in. Also Blacksmith upgrade, so Beastyqt decides, okay, I rather want to play a bit more of the late game. Wants to set himself up with stronger units, with better economy and more Blacksmith upgrades.
Two more Springalds coming out here from Beasty. Also continues to produce Knights. We see the buildup of Siege here from VortiX. He's going to try and push out in one big ball. Beasty once again switching over to that northern side of VortiX's base. There are 4 outposts there now with emplacements that he can garrison into, but he's going to have to pull army once again to deal with this, and I think villagers might actually end up dying.
Not unlikely, right? I think the Knights could have even committed there, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Already lost some HP, could have only found 3 kills though, and is happy to at least force some idle time. VortiX at pop 135, Beasty plus 40.
Where does VortiX go for wood?
Oh, I think in the far back, but that won't be for too long, I think. If we take a look at the right-hand side corner here and see... Yeah,
okay, he's still got a decent amount.
Yeah, 3-4K, I would think. Game ends in 9 minutes. Unless VortiX pulls something out of his head, unless VortiX reclaims the center. But look at that, another keep being built by Beastyqt. He's just fortifying this area so nicely.
I like how he doesn't make that too aggressively either. Makes it pretty safe on the other side. It means that VortiX theoretically could come in and deny the timer on the sacred site, but he's going to lose a lot of units if he does. And he's not going to be able to snipe that keep for free from a safe location with his trebuchet.
Full Springald here as well.
Is that a second keep too? Oh no, that's an outpost.
That's an outpost, but that one is getting smashed instantly. Look at that amount of traps though. Holy moly, VortiX. He has 5 traps on the field, 2 Mangonels with that, 6 Springalds. VortiX Siege is crazy.
8 Springalds for Beasty.
Oh. He's crazy good at controlling them as well.
8 Springalds here for Beasty, so VortiX needs to be careful here. He's coming forward with the Springalds. He's trying to get those first shots off. Looks like Beasty is still repairing that keep, and Beasty is still raiding with the Knights and VortiX's eco.
Trying to control this area. Ooh, what an intense game. Another night raid, but it feels like we see VortiX being fully prepared with all his spearmen, trying to take the big Springald fight in the center.
But at the same moment he takes the fight with the spearmen, his Springalds are being taken out by Beasty, and All you have to do is go after the Springolds first, and then you can hit the Trebs for free. Mangonel even getting in on the action. Looks like only 2 Springolds left for VortiX. Knights are in his base right now. Trebs are continuing to push forward. Only 2 Springolds left on that side for Beasty, but it says he has 6 on the field, so maybe bringing some over. The keep will likely fall, so the push continues for VortiX. Problems at home, though. Big problems at home.
Uh-oh, drops below 70 villagers, and that woodline is gone. And you already asked, like, where is his next woodline? But if he loses this one, it doesn't even matter. Now Militaire pushing into the center. Springles from the back will deal with those traps, potentially. Maybe the keep even stays alive, Dave.
I think the keep stays alive. I think Beasty has successfully taken out everything here with his Springold mass, and the Knights are just having a day over here in the economy from VortiX. VortiX goes down. Beasty, fantastic positioning there. He didn't really lose any eco early to that push from VortiX. VortiX push was only to deny the professional scouts from bringing in the carcasses. Couldn't even do that, and then didn't do any damage in Castle Age with the Lancers.
But how could you? Mainly walled, already army prepared. Economy-wise, you were behind. Abilitier great as a defensive unit, and Mongols simply struggled a bit to control the map. Maybe we need to see an even bigger commitment there to Feudal Age, and then it makes it easier to prevent your opponent from walling.
I think the walls there, the early walls on the north side of Beasty's base, just kind of directed that whole game. He couldn't get in with the Lancers, couldn't do any eco damage, made that second town center because he felt like he needed to catch up in eco to the French, and then couldn't even take over the Sacred Site position. BC's timings were too good, especially when he went on to Stone and he came out with that keep. That was just when VortiX was adding that third outpost in the middle. If he had gotten all of those set up with his siege, he might have been fine, but Beasty was one step ahead.
Tricky. There was so much stone floating at some time as well, and you just felt like, okay, do we maybe need to see some more Springle towers somewhere? It just... Mongols going for Lancers against French, like it's basically going for the same unit, but you're doing it a bit worse.
Yeah. Yep. And he couldn't respond to any of the raids either. The mobility of the Spearmen weren't enough. Beasty was just running circles around his base. Eventually, he knew he would have to go out to that gold in the north. And when he did, he looped all the army around. Same time, pushed back the Trebs in the middle, got that other keep up, and then the final fight, of course, was really, really great there from Beasty. So we're going to go into VortiX's final map pick here. We are going into game number 6, and Beasty, another win, puts him through to the finals. VortiX, of course, will need 2. It will be Highview, and I think we're expecting Roos against
Mongols. I think Highview should be Roos versus Mongols, and Abbasid versus Chinese on Altai. Feel like 2 very reasonable choices for Beastyqt.
He's listening into us.
Who's just stopping by and smiling some.
He's eating a banana. Yeah. He's very interested in what we have to say, Nilly.
How confident are you? Okay, he's listening to what we're saying. So we should be nice to him, apparently.
Yeah. I'm always nice.
Are you?
Yep.
Why did you trash talk him the game before then?
Shut up.
Whoa, he says.
I've had enough of you.
Did you?
Yep. I'm contractually obliged to be here for 12 days.
You're even staying a day longer.
Well, there's nothing in the contract that says I have to be nice to you.
Okay,
so.
true.
Yeah.
Made the contract so long, but forgot the nice part. Thought that was implied.
Oh, okay.
Little did I know.
Yep. All right. So we have to wait for this is what we like to call a hashtag
banana
BC
break.
Banana break. Yeah. It's actually going the same direction. The patented Beastyqt banana break here.
Highview next. Roos, obviously crazy good on Highview. Were considered to be #1 for many, many months. Then we had some horseman changes, and the meta shifted a bit, like, okay, we can pressure woodlines a bit more. On the other side, Mongols, actually really good at pressuring Roos there, if that's actually the matchup that we're going to see.
Do you think he just wants to finish it off? Abbasid, maybe?
Then you have
I
to
guess
play
you,
Mongols
I
against
guess you just
Chinese
save
and
it
Altai.
for Altai.
How good are Mongols on Altai? I've never seen them before because you typically want to go for an aggressive map with Mongols. I think I can only see Mongols in high view.
Okay. Well, we're going to see from Beasty. I guess he has to think not just about this game, but he has to think about the next one as well. Same with VortiX. He needs to consider both games here. There's no extra prize pool.
And it is going to be Rus versus Mongols, so
Yeah.
the kind of expected saves, the good choices for both players. And the big question mark will be, will we see a tower rush, maybe even a delayed tower rush, because Rus really struggling to deal with those. They don't want to go for barracks for defense. They can't really build towers for defense. Wooden fortress costs so much more, and you're low on wood with Rus regardless.
Yeah. It feels like there is an opportunity when if they go per professional scouts to bring in the carcasses, it feels like there's an opportunity there to do damage.
Let's take a look. Like, how is this really going to play out? How does Rus play this? Because I don't think you will have the time to go for professional scouts.
Yeah.
I think Mongols will already pressure you so early. They might go Spearmen, then Tower Rush, Horsemen are an option. Even Mangudai might punish your scouts. So I think Rus needs to play a really long feudal age, and that's not really where they shine against Mongols, especially at the early start.
Horse archers. Mista showed us the way yesterday. Horse archers.
Is it really against Mongols? Do you
No.
really get there?
No. I think there's questions here. Definite questions. Mongols, we saw them struggle early in the tournament. Players were practicing so much against them. They've kind of come back a little bit. Last game, obviously, not finding success, but the previous set that we saw, I think both. Yesterday, I think most of the Mongols players won. I think it's like 3 out of 4, maybe even 4 out of 4.
Something like that, yeah. We got a better win rate for sure. And I still think Mongols, like, it's weird, right? Mongols is probably the most talked about civilization because they switched so much, right? They were considered to be the strongest one when we went into the tournament.
Yep.
They were considered to be the second strongest right now, but they are the lowest in the win rate. So we don't really know what's going on. And at some point, we can't really say it's small sample size because I think we have seen them 22 times now or something like that.
Okay, as we can see, the professional YouTuber Beastyqt against the professional former StarCraft 2 multi-gamer legend VortiX here. Going into game number 6, VortiX with the rush, Beastyqt with, or the Rus, and Beastyqt with the Mongols here on high view.
It's crazy how it can be world class in 4 games, right? He was it in StarCraft 2, was it in Warcraft 3, was it in Heroes of the Storm, and now top 4 player in Age of Empires 4 as well. Those two brothers extremely gifted when it comes to strategy games.
How many scouts do you open with here? We
Well,
see
Rus-
Beasty with an extra one. We see VortiX with an extra one right now.
And 1 in the queue, so we'll go for 3. Oh, actually killed his own sheep.
Oh, nice snipe. The Khan was trying to take it away from him, but he gets that extra 5 gold towards his bounty. Looks like Beasty, though, is going to be picking up these 3 wolves, so that's a good snag for him. Also has the sheep following there. Might be able to find the sheep north of that. That's perfect. And we can see the double view here as both players hunt for the hunt and try and either deny bounty for the other player or get bounty for yourself. VortiX probably looking for that tier 2 and then tier 3 way later in the game.
If he ever gets to tier 3, right?
Yeah.
Especially in 1v1s, we have not seen the biggest success in those. Look at how Beasty has a group of wolves following him there. And now we see VortiX is getting the deer at his own front base. Even ignores the one in the back, which is really weird. Wants to bring in the wolves first. Greedy. But I think it will pay off. I don't see Beastyqt being too far out on the map
VortiX
of VortiX.
also not really expanding with the scouts at all.
Does he have 4 scouts? He has 4 scouts.
Oh.
That's weird. That's something I've not seen in quite some time, especially after scouts got changed. Scouts got more expensive, and they're slower carrying the oh, and is that only to contest more wolves? But Beastyqt already got 4, so that's really good for him. Look at that.
Yeah,
It's 100 gold denied.
Beastyqt with a lot of denied bounty underneath his town center here. Looks like VortiX is currently battling a wolf, but like you said, 4 scouts, it's such a big investment early, especially against the Mongols who can put on that early pressure. Maybe you're putting yourself a little bit too far back.
Do we see the early pressure though? We see the almost the 180 stone there, so no production there in the spearman department. Still finds 2 more wolves behind Beastyqt's base. And VortiX now on the way to Castle Age. This is the moment, Feudal Age. This is the moment where I start to get nervous, because this is again 2 match points here for Beastyqt. If he wins 1 of the next 2 games, he will go into the finals of the $100,000 tournament. 30K up for grabs tomorrow.
Beasty also saying today that he feels like he would be a good matchup against MarineLorD.
They were training together.
Yeah.
And last time, MarineLorD was training with someone, tryharding for a tournament. It was Winter Championship, and Beastyqt fell early. I just want to say, Hera won that one, 4-3 against MarineLorD.
Yeah. Yeah, BC saying that MarineLorD would have a little bit of nerves in the final, and he'd like to capitalize on that. So he definitely had a preference. And I think he also just wants to beat MarineLorD after he got beat in the group stage. But that's neither here nor there, as we see the Khan trailing a few more sheep. Both scouts, or the scouts from both players, just exploring the various areas of the map. And the bounty is at 300. So this is fine for VortiX, and we're just going to be paying attention to the openings as both players are almost up into the second age. VortiX will reach there first. Beastyqt will follow shortly. And VortiX immediately goes. Is that survival techniques there? Or is that professional?
It's professional scouts.
Professional scouts there, okay.
Unless it's a super misclick, he is obviously not really having any D under his town center. And, well, we are simply, yeah, it's professional scouts.
There it is.
And still, relatively late feudal age again. Look at that, we had 455. Oh, a scout goes down though. And what are those villagers up to? Seems like they are rushing to an archer range now. It's so weird by Beastyqt.
Well, BC's not even up yet. Like, it's not even up yet. Still working on the deerstones. The barracks is there. The scouts are now pressuring the Gur a little bit. And the tower is near the Uvu.
Why do you build a tower and a barracks? Feels really weird. So much pressure on those villagers, not really focusing on any though, so villagers don't need to be pulled too early. Now getting pushed away though. And Beastyqt, that's not a pretty opening for him. 530 and 0 aggression out of him.
Yeah, stable here from VortiX, and he's going to go for an early night, so he's going to start picking away or attempting to pick away at BC's economy. The tower will be there, but the tower doesn't really do anything in that position, does it?
It's protecting the over a bit, protecting the gold a bit, but not really. Ooh, 5 HP? Well, villagers could have maybe gotten fancy there.
5 HP on that Khan. He needs to run away with it before the scouts come back to maybe engage with that. Maybe he senses that this is happening. Knight now on the field. Scouts coming from the other direction, and Beasty is going to have to run away, maybe use his speed arrow, and there it is. And he will escape with that Khan. Doesn't want to wait for a new one to be reborn, so he's going to save that for the time being.
Oh, Beastyqt finds another wolf, finds another sheep there at the bottom of the map. Now spearmen are coming over. I think this is the latest spearman rush I've ever seen.
This is very late indeed, and you just have to wonder what's going on there. He did get some good hits, though, against the Knight, and it's still trying to take down the Khan. Beasty baiting it with the low HP Khan, and the Knight will escape, but the Khan will be right behind, so that thing...
6 HP, doesn't really matter. We don't have any healing here in Feudal Age, so that one will be a big loss for sure. Barely survives, and now we have the archer range for VortiX. Needs to make something happen to defend against all those spearmen coming in.
Archery range there. What's the follow-up here from Beasty? Very late spearman rush, like you said. Outposts on the Uvu. And he's just going to pull his spearman back.
Another outpost there.
And a villager coming forward now. Okay.
Is Beastyqt playing like the super late game here? Like, this is no feudal age aggression, and Roos doesn't really mind skipping feudal age. I'm confused.
Knight at the back, very, very weak, not able to really do anything. Unless,
okay,
with the spearman there, he should be fine. Maybe gonna charge one villager. Bop.
Oh, has to be, oh no, survived.
And the knight goes down. And ooh, BC has found the scouts. He'll use the movement arrow for his spearman to try and catch up with them. The carcasses are forced to be dropped, and VortiX will have to run away from that location. He still has some carcasses under his town center, but he's going to run into problems if he keeps going back for those. He's going to need archer support for sure with the spearman over there from BC. And BC actually takes out another knight at the back.
Tricky moves here to be made from either player, actually, because this is not the straightforward game. It's so many spearmen being built. Then you want to go for archers. Oh, look at that. Siege engineers by VortiX.
And I think BC
What
is
does he
getting
want to pressure?
BC's getting a little bit greedy too. He's already got wheelbarrow. He's building up gold. He's building up food.
Uh-oh, that's weird. Siege engineers, and this could be quite a nice pressure then. Maybe full archer, full knight, Ramgo, and Mongols won't have the greatest answer if they only have like 2 towers in the center of the map.
We'll give BC vision and give him a heads up as to what's coming. He'll see these archers heading over to his base. He doesn't really have anything to deal with these archers, just that one outpost in the middle and the one near his Uvu, so not too much at home if VortiX just simply goes around this location. Only spearmen for him, and he's still building up food and gold, so BC's definitely thinking about transitioning into the third age here.
VortiX not really. VortiX continues to produce more knights, more archers, tries to claim a bit more of that deer area, but spearmen are pushing this one away. And Ram, sneakily built in the stealth forest, makes lots of sense. More outpost here, kind of a no man's land by Beastyqt. I'm a bit surprised, still tries to control the extra deer. The question is, where does the Ram go of VortiX?
I think BC just wants advance warning on everything coming into his base. He wants to know what's happening. He wants to know if VortiX is sneaking around. It's just the question of, like, what if he is? What if you see him? what are you gonna do about it, really? Like, what do you do when you see this army, which he will with his Khan? See the archers coming in, the horsemen coming in. He didn't see the ram there, but he will see it shortly. Like, what do you really counter this with?
Is that a second tower? Wow, he expects the aggression. Textiles now coming in from Beastyqt as well. He's not too far away from canceling. Second ram. This is going to be massive aggression.
So double tower on the Uvu, double ram though pushing in here from VortiX. VortiX going very, very aggressive indeed, and BC still building up res for the third age. How many archers does he have back with those spearmen? Is it a decent amount?
7.
Seven
I'll let you be the
archers.
judge. Some knights here, only 3 knights, 3 scouts. That's I think enough for Beastyqt.
I don't know if this is I don't know if this is enough for VortiX. Feels like BC can kind of snipe down some of those archer numbers and then maybe engage against the knights with his spearmen. We saw the spearmen hanging out near those carcasses. Doesn't want VortiX to bring them in. The Rams now heading in towards those outposts from BC. BC will engage with archers and VortiX will be forced back, and here come the villagers from BC to snipe that Ram, but he pulls them back in time. Those villagers have wheelbarrow and have the network as well, so they're going to be very fast.
Oh, this could make or break Beastyqt here. If he wins this game, he's going into the finals. If not, we will go on to game number 7 on Altai, where he will face Chinese. Goes for the step redoubt, knows, okay, I have the timing. I don't need to go for more army. On the other side, VortiX floating 500 food. Can't really get to Castle Age.
I wonder, like, how many carcasses VortiX has now under his TC, because BC kind of denied some of that. Yeah, it's not that much left there in terms of food economy for him.
Maybe 3, 4 left, indeed. Rams now, even the third ram. I think he needed more army. 1 knight, 1 archer in the queue, and now some more archers. There will be some pressure against the Ovo, but obviously not having too much stone left anyways.
And look at the army here from BC. BC is heading in. He's got the con to support. The Knights from VortiX are going to have to be very careful here when they engage against the army from BC, because BC has those spearmen. So the archers are going to have to do work against those spearmen first. The Uvu is being moved, but BC didn't really have that much stone in the bank anyway.
Okay, Spearman now moving forward. A new age begins. Beastyqt is reaching castle edge. What is he investing into? Moves with all his buildings, the specialty of Mongols, but the Rams, they're pushing forward.
Also some villagers exposed over on that side, but the archers can't really take the time to snipe them. And looks like BC actually sniped quite a few archers from VortiX as he came in. The spearmen were exposed there, but they're going to be pulled back. BC not getting any upgrades yet. And he's going into men-at-arms.
Okay, didn't really achieve too much with that castle edge yet. Finally, men-at-arms, as you mentioned. Now we see some spearmen, more archers being added. I think VortiX was expecting some lancers. Saw the stable there apparently, or something that gave him false information, because he's not going for the right units. I think committing with more knights could have been an option, or trying to castle yourself.
Are those idle villagers all under the TC where there's no carcasses?
Oh, that
There's
hurts.
no food. There's no food here, and the berries are all being taken too. Oh, there's no food here for VortiX.
He's going and clearing up a tower in the center of the map. VortiX, 100 gold, 700 food, so far away. Queues up some more, but Beastyqt is happy with getting some time.
Yeah, Beastyqt not really queuing up anything either. He's struggling for gold income at the moment.
Oh, yeah?
Also struggling for wood too. He has some food in the bank, but the Rams are now going to shift over towards this town center. And this is a push from VortiX that he needs to do at least some damage. Idle some eco something, because you're going to be struggling here in the next few minutes with your opponent in that third age. Villagers now committing towards the Ram. They're going to be able to take out one, I believe.
Villagers are falling here. This could be the final fight for VortiX in N4C. He's in the semifinals. He's down 3-2 and he's getting pushed away. Spearmen are pushing in some men-at-arms. The Khan obviously in castle age helping out quite a bit as well. Beastyqt below 67 population here. And
it feels like VortiX has kind of weathered the initial storm, but the men-at-arms are looming, right?
Oh, triple stable. Maybe the spearmen were the right choice, but now it's mainly knights and archers.
And Lancer in the queue now from Beasty. Lots of villagers there. There's an opportunity here for VortiX to take out a lot of economy from Beasty. We see villagers going down right now. They're hard committing on the Rams. He's got archers behind. He's got that TC still firing, but no real upgrades on these units for Beasty. So VortiX is going to be able to take this engagement. Even the men-at-arms need to run away. VortiX just needs to be sure to hold Beasty at his own base right now.
Okay, went in, went out. Some losses for sure. Villager advantage at 10, still a full age behind. Goes for a second ram. Just knows, okay, I want to continue with the pressure there at the front. Only has one stable?
Yeah, the issue is going to be when the Lancers show up at his economy.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that would be pretty bad for him. How many Lancers can we afford to send around, though? As we can see, Beastyqt right now, only one Lance on the field. Make it 3 now.
Third ram being added for the second time. He's going to have a 3-ram push in towards this TC. Lancers are on the field here from Beasty. Got early knights, still 10 of them from VortiX. And we have 23 archers. Meanwhile, for Beasty, only 9 archers. So yeah, can he even afford to send those Lancers around?
I don't think he can. This push is just so sick. 41 military against 26 villagers, already low from earlier attacks. Yeah, we have textiles here. Let's take a look. Now the town center already at 70% HP. Feels
like VortiX has the initiative here. He engages with the early knights. Lancers doing good work at the front there, but the archers are being picked off behind, and the Rams are still working on that town center, and that's a large portion of BC's eco that is garrisoned inside there. BC really struggling with army numbers here. Villagers engaging against the Rams, but his military has all been cleared up. He pulls everything to fight against this. So many villagers now being pulled. This is massive. Down to
to 12 military villagers low here. Rams are getting pushed back. More knights are coming forward, but that's going to be so many villager losses. Below 38 villagers now and more to fall. But as we said, counterattacks really strong because VortiX is pushing everything on the screen.
Yeah, and I'd love to see some Lancers heading back towards VortiX's eco. He managed to kill 2 of those Rams, so the push is kind of stalled out right now. I think there's a window, if you're Beasty, to send those Lancers. Even 1 or 2 in those exposed resources could do so much damage. He didn't actually lose as much as I thought. He still has 36 villagers right now. It was just a lot of idle time and a lot of messiness going on around that first TC.
Now the big question, what does the Roos player do? Is he thinking about castle? It's only 35 gold income per minute. You can see that he's only working
all in feudal here.
Cabins. Yeah.
All in feudal. There's 2 more Rams following. Lancer now coming out. He's going to find an archer. That's a really weak Lancer, though. So he'll need to run away. Maybe give Beastie an idea of a place to hit, though, because there's a lot of exposed villagers there.
3 Rams again. He's not taking the foot off the gas. 90 population against 50. Villagers pretty far in the back here. Not the greatest position to defend this town center.
Still some men-at-arms there from BC. He's adding in 2 more Lancers, and I believe he's sending a force across towards VortiX's eco. There's 3 Lancers here. This could do a whole lot of damage, but he needs to survive at home. Villagers being pushed right now to the front lines, and they're going to start engaging against these Rams under the archers, under the knights from his opponent. 1 Ram goes down. 2nd Ram will probably follow, and the 3rd Ram, but it's like, how many villagers does he escape from this with?
Oh, it can't be, Lord. Look at that, 26 and still plummeting. So much army falling down. Still nice counterattack, but it feels like a big split there. I think he needed the Lancers at home. Villagers still trying to run, tries to reposition the town center, but that's so many losses.
Yeah, there's so many losses for BC, but also so many losses for VortiX.
Double the population, Dave.
Double the population for sure, and the villagers will keep going down here. TC gets repositioned at the back, and I wonder if VortiX, he doesn't take his foot off the gas here, right? He just keeps going.
He doesn't. He can't, right? He knows, okay, wow, your town center is so low. You're offering another landmark to me. I'm already pushing you so heavily. I can push away your pastures as well. There's just so much to be gained by continuing to push. The town center even burning.
The town center is on fire. Someone ring the bell here. Mark it now from BC. He has so much gold in the bank. That's a good move. He needs to balance his economy for sure.
Look at Beastie's food income. 0. He needs to send those sheep over. He needs to move those pastures. Look at that, all the dead sheep that were initially next to the town center.
Oh, that's absolutely tragic. Dead sheep under there. And maybe VortiX can go snag those with professional scouts.
Actually, like, we are going for all those berries here, which really surprised me. More barracks being built forward as well. Military-wise, 44 against 18.
Yeah. BC could find that wood line, maybe you would find an opportunity, but VortiX pushing in here with these Rams once again. The step readout looks pretty vulnerable on that side. There's 1 outpost there for BC. I think BC is currently looking for reinforcements with those Lancers. He's not hitting the eco from VortiX at the moment. 44 villagers against 27, but he's found the berries.
Oh, that's pretty good. Is he there to defend? No, he is there to do some damage. Spearmen around though, some Lancers at the front. Didn't really find the damage. Putting the villagers again.
Spearman going down. The Lancers now attacking that Ram. Debating once again with these Rams. I think the first Ram might go down, but the villagers will too. 23 villagers for Beastie. We've seen him in this position before once in this set, but he didn't manage to come back. We'll see if he can pull it back this time. Lancers coming in from the side, but still Spearman to defend these archers.
And now the tower goes down. That has the Springer emplacement, still not doing enough. No gold income now, completely pushed away from that. Luckily, he repaired that town center. But look at that, all the 3 relevant landmarks now on your screen.
Lancers just building up behind. VortiX still in the second age, by the way, folks. Ram, though, getting pretty out of position, and the villagers can engage with that. The Lancers engage with the early Knights. Villagers still going after that. They take out the Ram. 20 of them garrison in that town center, so he can start shooting those archers. He's still alive, but he's definitely on life support.
Look at the food. 10 in the bank. No income. 1 man at arm is trying to make a
0 per
comeback
minute
happen.
is not good.
Not good, Dave. 0 per minute is not good.
And villagers now coming forward from VortiX. I don't know where they're going,
I think
but
that might just be another lumber camp. I think he's just moving forward, trying to reposition himself a bit. Tries to put everything kind of on one screen here at the front. Feels so weird, though. Maybe he doesn't want to get counterattacked at home. That's why he moves his home.
yeah, maybe 2 more Rams coming from him as the Lancers come in towards these berries once again. Spearmen behind and more Spearmen following, so these Lancers should be dealt with as the Rams come in for the, what, 4th, 5th, 6th time?
Something like that. More Spearmen here for the defense, and it just feels like now we are slowly running out of answers. 24 villagers, 11 military Lancers are coming in. Villagers again being pulled, but another big volley is going to die.
Villagers doing so much damage there to the Rams at the front, but they're taking so much damage, and there's no food income really from Beastyqt to replace these. 3 Rams once again dying. He hops in the TC again. He's still living.
How is he doing that? He constantly keeps killing them, but obviously villager losses, right? 19 villagers now at the 23-minute mark. This is madness again.
All the villagers under the protection of the army from VortiX, so BC is going to have issues killing those. All of VortiX's economy is right here. If BC ever kills the army from him, the economy is going to be completely exposed. VortiX still nowhere close to going up to the next stage.
Look at this economy. You know where the starting TC of BC was, right?
Yeah.
Exactly there.
Speaking of starting TC, BC should move that right into the eco. As a last form of attack. Yeah, exactly. Last form of attack for him. He's looking for reinforcements here with his Lancers. He's looking for villagers that are away from the main group. He's even got his con over here now, and he'll be able to see 2 more Rams being added from VortiX. So many Rams this game. BC finally has some food income, though, so he can start replacing the villagers he lost. Still, half the villager amount, 44 to 22.
Khan, obviously, with really small armies, getting really efficient, but really small armies doesn't mean you have to be pop 33. Another lumber camp here, tries to be more efficient. Archer numbers actually pretty solid. How can he constantly afford those Rams? I think he lost like 10 Rams in this game already.
Yep, something like that. Definitely something close to that. He's just all in on wood. All in on wood in this economy. Struggling for food, struggling for gold, not even thinking about stone.
Pull the villagers again.
And villagers probably will be pulled again as he comes in towards this starting town center. It's not too many there, though. BC's just going to run away.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He feels like, okay, this is finally
Or
not the fight I can take.
No, never mind. He's going to run back in.
Goes into the town center, but that's not going to be pretty.
I believe he engages with the Lancers at the same time. Oh, the villagers are even running towards the town center.
And now the Lancers over here, and maybe not enough Spearmen on the field.
Is this a potential for VortiX to throw this game?
No way. He still has double the population. Lancer numbers simply not there. We have 5 Lancers, double men-at-arms, town center now likely to fall.
Snipe.
Is it though? Is it though? You can move your landmarks. Look at that. Villagers now repairing the town center. Goes for the market. I think it's Mongols is one of the trickiest civilizations to landmark snipe.
I would be very intimidated if I saw that many people with torches chasing me.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Oh my goodness, this is absolutely ridiculous here. How many villagers does VortiX have chasing this?
Happening?
He must feel like Beasty, you're dead, just give up. And he's chasing after them with all of them. Beasty is repairing on the move. Looks like his starting town center will be going down, though. The starting town center is down, and the Deer Stones is, I think, in the main base. The Sep Redoubt, though, is in the corner. VortiX has all of his economy attacking BC's economy right now.
What do those people think the population of their opponents are? There's like, I just killed your starting town center, but there's no villagers really working for VortiX either. He's at 36 villagers, but what's his income? Non-existent. Look at the food.
It's
zero.
0, 0, 0.
There's no resources being collected.
Income. There's no income
There's
from
one
either
hunting
player.
cabin and one ovo. There's not a single villager collecting resources right now.
This game is absolutely ridiculous here. And it felt like every single Beastie loss in this set so far has been absolutely ridiculous. And we might see another one here. But Beastie is hanging in there. He's still trying to compete in this game. He's moving his step read out to the other side of the map. But there's no villagers.
Oh.
Now Deerstones is on the move. You will not snipe me, my friend.
Double tower just to save the villagers there. And the raid is coming in though. Might be some more dead villagers. And that Khan, I mentioned it earlier, just crazy good with those small numbers. Where are we moving here?
Villagers now taking a tree on the opposite side. It seems like more landmarks are moving. The Khan can sit there comfortably and start sniping those villagers. Ram's still working away.
Look at those poor sheep, not knowing to do what with their life. They're at the top. Gets more buildings, trying to run. This is how Mongols were designed. This is how the developers envisioned Mongols to be played.
And we're getting it to full effect here. Beastie in full rat gameplay mode right here, just hiding from his opponent.
Yo, Paul, what do you think about a civilization when one guy has 18 villagers and we are in a 30-minute game that he can actually move his buildings?
Yeah.
Good idea.
And we have win condition buildings, but you can move them.
What? That sounds stupid.
Yeah. That's where we are right now, though, as both players just try and figure out ways to finish off their opponent. Beastie refusing to go out, and he's going to shift all of his villagers over there to those sheep that he's brought away. 37 villagers for VortiX. We've got 18 villagers for Beastie. The heart rates have really calmed down now.
Dave. What is this game? One Khan still finds more kills. Has to find so many deer stones. Tries to move around. This is kind of like trying to save the building here a bit.
He's got one going that way and one going the other direction. Divide and conquer in full effect here from Beastie.
So many stealth forests as well.
Yep.
And you see VortiX, he's trying to find something. Can we take a look at the base of VortiX? I have no idea what we are witnessing.
There's nothing. There's 3 villagers on gold. Okay, 5 villagers.
Well, he can still use the golden gate. How many ticks do we have on the golden gate? Could we find that out? 0 ticks, so he can't buy wood or food. Floating so much wood here.
Okay, Uvu being taken out. Beastie's going to struggle to replace that.
Now some more barracks. Still feudal age.
Goes for a town
Remember,
center.
No, that is still the
that's
starting
the
town
destroyed
center.
TC.
The ideal position of the starting. So he needs
Ah.
to repair that fully, and then he goes over there. Remember, VortiX is still in feudal age, by the way. 30 minutes in. Now double stable? Why?
He has no food income. Why would you? How are you?
97.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see if it pays off here. Is he?
For the sheep that were lying around.
Ah.
He's getting food now. This is I don't even know what they're clicking. All the buildings now to the top, all the pastures. So like, but he has no production at all.
His face looks really intense for a game that he's only clicking 4 lancers around.
Yeah. This is what MOBA players probably doing all day, right?
Ah.
Just like one unit, and you still get stressed and still feel like you are actually achieving something, although you only control one unit.
I wasn't sure if you said MOBA or mobile.
Both.
Not sure if you're achieving anything.
We could go for some repair. Ooh, nice Lancer. We'll find another raid here. 4 HP only though. Obviously tough to check stuff like that. Unlikely that you think, okay, there's something coming with really low HP around at this stage in the game. You think, okay, most of the units had to be new. Market now going away as well. Still no way to increase the villager count while we see VortiX slowly but surely climbing there.
He needs a TC. Like, if he's not going to be doing raids or anything, he's killing, like, how many villagers did he kill in the last 2 minutes? 2? 1, 2?
Something like
BC?
that. Okay.
Now farms being added. Omega farms being added here from VortiX. So he's steadily gaining the advantage. You need to do something here in BC's position.
A bit out of position. Villagers not too crazy for them either. Archers now, obviously, they can tickle away on those lancers. No way to heal them. The only thing that you don't want to focus down are those... is the Khan. Men-at-Arms. How did we get to 9 Men-at-Arms again,
wow, I didn't even notice that. That's what he's doing right now. He's queuing up Men-at-Arms, and then he's going to go in to that one area. If he takes out the military, all the eco is forward here from VortiX, and he just placed a bunch of farms, too. That's a big investment from him. If Beasty can collapse on that location, he can take out all of that stuff.
Do we have emplacements on those 2 towers in the center? That's what I want to know, because that's really important, and we have none. Look at that. That's only the villager defense, but still lots of army there. And VortiX, slowly but surely, climbing in villages. 45 doesn't sound like a lot, but in this case, more than double of what his opponent can offer.
Still Men-at-Arms. Looks like BC with no Uvu. I guess because he doesn't have the wood.
He just lost the one. Yeah, doesn't have the stone to build a new one. Statted out, trying to save himself. Just imagine VortiX seeing it, walling it in, and then tries to go for the ramp push against the statue out at the bottom. Knight's trying to find some kills. Beastyqt doing a really good job of not losing them. He's at 18 for quite some time now.
Yeah, because the guy can't find any. Okay, two more fortresses with a third one on the way too. And BC comes in here with the Men-at-Arms. He does have the double Pierce armor. He's got the Lancers from the south. If he manages to clear up this military, there's actually a chance for him to take out the eco here from VortiX. So we'll track this fight very closely. 8 villagers in both of those, 6 in the ones to the south. But the Men-at-Arms are falling here.
Enough towers. What a great awareness here by VortiX. He knew the all-in was coming in that direction. 4 towers already set up, was ready to do a 5th one. Beastyqt drops below 30 population.
Does he keep playing here?
He still has a Khan. Maybe he
still has a Khan,
enough.
still has a couple Lancers. He's seen the farm setup, though, from VortiX. And it just feels like every second he's getting further and further ahead. If your all-in didn't accomplish anything, you couldn't even clear up the military there. What is the game plan?
Well, you found some villager kills. Maybe some more knights expected from VortiX here. Just so tricky to judge who is ahead. Obviously, we see everything. We see the population. That is hidden for the players, and they are a bit more clueless. They simply, with all the stealth forest, don't really know where is the opponent, what are they up to. Do they have an economy? I don't think VortiX believes that Beastyqt doesn't have a town center right now.
Yeah, I think he believes he does. Maybe you can play off that a little bit. Maybe you can like clear up his army and then VortiX calls the GG.
I wouldn't rule it out. The question is like, how does he clear up the army?
Yeah.
Okay, now the barracks burning. Rams trying to make something happen. Does VortiX maybe think, okay, the opponent is in Castle Age. I'm actually on a timer here. Could he have a big misread?
There's a lot of sheep there. Oh my goodness. You almost don't want to like kind of give those up. That's a lot of food eco. And he's moving the sheep. Indeed, he is moving the sheep, but now he's losing villagers. He was at 18 for a very long time. He's now at 16, trying to raid a little bit with the Khan, getting some hits there, but oh boy, BC with really no opportunities. He's got 6 Men-at-Arms, 2 Lancers, a Khan, 3 Spearmen, and a Dream.
Big Dream. Spearman going down, the Knights helping out a bit. Still, Springer the placement helping quite some way here. Rams are going back. Oi, 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 this is getting intense. Villagers are running away to the left-hand side. And VortiX, he will question, like, what's happening? Where's your army? Are you really only Pop 24? Is Khan really the only unit that we really have on the field? VortiX won't believe his eyes.
And Beasty will whisper, yes.
Looks so bad for him. Now the Rams is going down. Another pull. This is like the 15th Ram that we see dying here in Fuel Age for VortiX. 35 minutes, but he is so reluctant of changing his plans. Now the Khan could take quite some damage. That would be so bad. Look at the face of Beastyqt if he loses that one. 140 HP. No, it's a one-man army.
It's literally a one-man army over there. There are 2 Lancers on the field as well from BC, but I have no idea where they are. Maybe they're in the bottom there. We see the outposts now going down. Another Ram being built. Love to see a Ram count for this game. That must be number 14.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Khan
so much investment.
Again.
Khan still on the wood line. VortiX cannot pass that
but
like 45 villager mark, but it's 11 villagers for Beasty. 15 population. What?
Is he hoping for a disconnect? What's happening here now? Pulls
think he
villagers
calls
against
the
the
GG
ramp.
here.
That can't be it. We are going to game 7, Dave.
Going to a game 7. Wow, he really knew. Look at the stress on his face. Like, Beasty knows how to drag out his opponent here. Like, this is really, really stressful for VortiX in a game number 6 like that. Beasty made him work for it.
Absolutely. Oh god, I can't really believe how intense this was. Now game number 7. We go into Altai. We go into Chinese for VortiX. And it's going to be Abbasid for Beastyqt. We think Abbasid might have this small advantage there.
Yeah. Abbasid, obviously, their boom is a little bit better than the Chinese boom, and it costs a whole lot less. And then they can get into the unit spam faster as well. I just have to question, like, last game, did Beasty go up to Castle Age a little bit early? Was the outpost play just not it at the beginning, or should he have sent the Lancers to raid before?
I don't think he could have. I actually think it was a mistake to send them to raid. Because the moment is, if he holds those ram attacks, he increases his advantage. Stat out, Castle Age, he gets, like, the OVO works faster in Castle Age as well. His Khan is faster. So I think the counterattacks might have been the problem.
He did the counterattacks after he pushed the Rams away, though.
But the next wave was coming. He needed to scout there. He needed to actively see with the scout. He needed to see with the Khan. Big problem, though. Most of the times, the Rams were smartly built in the stealth forest by VortiX.
Okay, well, question for another day. Roos does take down the Mongols. And we've got our final 2 civs here. We've got Chinese, and the remaining map civ against Abbasid.
Game number 7. The intensity of game number 7. Ay.
Especially after, like, 3 of those games, all 3 games that BC lost were just dragged out to the extreme.
Yeah.
Like, we think about the first one, English. He managed to come back and be competitive in the game after going down to 13 villagers. And then that was the last one where 18 villagers, he was stalled out forever.
Yeah. Something else that was extreme. Like, we obviously, always for those big events, have to carry a lot of, like, equipment here, all the PCs and such, and we had to do multiple drives, right, with our cars. And I actually started, like, 2 months ago getting the first equipment here and went by to a gas station to, like, get some air into our tires. It was completely for free. And now I come back 1 week ago, you actually have to pay €1 to get air into your tires. You know why?
Why?
Inflation.
Was that one of the jokes that you wrote down, or like you wrote down before the stream?
No, was a true story.
Because it was just like kind of out of nowhere, honestly.
It's game 7. I had to squeeze it in somewhere.
Okay. You guys might think that that came out of the blue, but it's literally he writes down jokes. He writes them down.
How much you had to fight? Ooh, transition.
That was the Star Wars transition.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now we're on all the
special edition, though.
Aha.
Yeah, for the gold special. George Lucas realized he didn't quite have enough money yet. Maybe just a little bit more. Yeah.
VortiX against Beastyqt, Altai. It is really on. It is game number 7. Loser out. $12,500 secured. The winner is going into the best of 9 finals tomorrow. 16 GMT against the winner of MarineLorD Leenock. The set that will directly follow this one. We will have great games later tonight. This is so incredibly intense. Dave, what will we see?
Well, we're going to see a reverse of a matchup we saw earlier in this set. We saw Beastyqt with the Chinese and VortiX with the Abbasid. And Beasty went forward with that stealth forest Barbican, and then he surrounded VortiX with Outpost, but that didn't really work. He also went for some forward keep. So Altai, maybe an easier map to do that on because it's all focused right down the middle. You can get a good Barbican placement, but maybe VortiX decides to play a little bit differently here. The key against matching up against Abbasid is shutting down that boom early and forcing them to spend resources on different things, because if you let them boom for free, they get really out of control.
Double scout play by Abbasid, something we don't necessarily see too often, simply because they can go on to berries so nicely. And look at how greedy Beastyqt is, scouting far away from his town center. Only later on will be going around and scout his sheep around his town center, the ones that belong to him. Could be a quite nice transition and is not really relying on berry placements that much.
Lots of sheep for Beasty here. Lots and lots of sheep, and that's a great start for him. He's going to need all the food he can get if he's cut off from those berries. The deer is in such a good location back there too.
Yeah, absolutely lovely. A good spot for a town center there that I could see in the back, right? You don't need to build the mill next to it then. Also protects the gold in some sense. If we actually are going for that option here, Beastyqt in the red, in the left-hand side, although the overlay is at the right-hand side. You will learn that.
Let's take a look at VortiX's base here as BC comes forward to scout. We've got the mill being set up on the hunt over to the side. The berries are pretty far forward. He's got that wood line back there, but his other wood line is stretching towards the middle, so that could be an issue. As we get later into the game, obviously the Abbasid not likely to push.
Not for
early.
Quite some time, yeah. We most of the time see some pushes in Castle Age, right? Where they can build all that siege, where they can get all that control, when their eco really is kicking in. And then the second woodline, certainly something we need to take a look at. As you all know, 2 big woodlines for both players, and then some scattered around trees. Wood control, crucial on this map.
And I think DeMusliM played Abbasid on this map and just completely ran out of wood. He ran out of everything, actually. The Chinese player he was matching up against, or maybe it was Chinese, maybe it was English, but was walling in everything, and he didn't realize until it was too late. So you really got to keep your eye on that if you are playing a little bit more defensively here. I don't like the berries for Beasty being that far forward, but he's got options to fall back to.
He will get most of them anyways, right? He's heavily on the berries, so not the biggest problem. Imperial Academy, so not the most aggressive play by VortiX. Needs to make sure that he will advance to a few lanes. Oh, look at that! Beastyqt even killing the deer as far away from the town center as possible. Even tries to push the deer away.
Yeah, he's pushing them up into the mountain slopes. It's going to be cold up there, so the villagers might suffer from some frostbite or something. And he wants to delay that food coming in as much as possible from VortiX, be as annoying as possible. And he has 2 scouts, so...
Ooh. Will take quite some damage, but now slips through. Nice and oily, getting out of there. And we're still not on stone. So VortiX... No, I mean Beastyqt. Not really thinking about the second town center just yet. Still on gold.
He's able to see that Imperial Academy at VortiX's base, though, so he knows that it's not going to be an immediate forward Barbican. He doesn't have to worry about that too much. Wonder what the opening is going to be for Beasty here. VortiX reaching the Feudal Age, and Beasty, of course, goes for that mining camp on the stone. It looks like VortiX is doing the same thing, so maybe considering a second TC of his own, and Beasty is busy doing his thing over here on the hunt. He doesn't notice that VortiX is going out to that stone.
Yeah, and the question is, when will he notice? Still both scouts together. Would have liked to see a split, one at the top, one at the bottom. And that is quite some missing information for Beastyqt for now. He's obviously going for the boom himself, something that he will feel comfortable with. The big question, what is Chinese going to do to address this? They might be behind in economy. If we get to Song Dynasty, obviously 2 TC versus 2 TC. Better for Chinese for the numbers, but the food investment so much higher.
Yeah, now Beasty's going to see this stone here, so he'll have a good idea of what his opponent is planning. Both players trying to get 300 stone in the bank. Very little, actually no military investment early on in this game. So full boom game.
Full boom game.
It's not like we've had a long set already.
Yeah, crazy how the variants can be, right?
We're already like 4 hours into the stream here.
Yeah. And now the second town center is being dropped. Some people might be confused, like, why is he dropping the town center next to the other town center? Don't you want to use that one as a drop-off point? No. with Chinese. You want to use those drop-off points because they will give you some more gold. You can collect the taxes. Does not work with the town center drop-off.
Scouts now pushing the villagers away from the gold. Gold not really the biggest issue for the Chinese. Like Nilly mentioned, you can get the taxes. So that should sustain you. And Beasty just waiting for the 300 stones so he can make a second TC. So VortiX is going to be a little bit ahead in villager production. Now Beasty running away. There's the second town center on the deer and on that wood line. Settle in. Here we go. 2 TC versus 2 TC. No military buildings.
Barbican now to protect the gold a bit, to zone out the area a bit at the bottom end, to get to 35% faster production from your 2 town centers. And, well, that's simply you getting to nice numbers, but you still have to pay the full 50 food for your villagers, while obviously Abbasid at 25 food there. So it's easier for them to transition into Castle Age. China really good at defending though. If they get their Imperial, or if they get their astronomical clockwork tower out, and maybe some Springles, maybe some Nest of Bees.
I'm just surprised that neither player went for anything. Like nothing. No military pressure whatsoever, just letting each other boom up. Who do you favor in this position? I mean, the Chinese now have Song Dynasty. They're going to start printing bills faster than the Abbasid.
I personally like Abbasid a bit more on this
Just
open
like the
field.
cost savings.
The cost saving and simply the option to build siege on the field, right? The moment you get 10 men-at-arms out, it's so much easier for you to get Springles, so much easier for you to get men-at-arms. Yes, Chinese will have more HP on those, but is that enough if you're so heavily outnumbered?
Beasty building up resources now. VortiX really low on food. You can see those villagers costing more, starting to affect his resource bank already. And Beasty should be clicking up soon, actually. Even with 2 TC.
That's a way better timing here.
Yep.
And we see a village in the back. Obviously, remember that Song Dynasty and going for the Barbican cost him an additional 400 food, 200 gold, delaying his castle age timing in addition to the higher cost on villages.
He also has wheelbarrow.
Aye.
So a little bit more efficient for him. Spearman now, our first real military unit out onto the field as Beasty clicks up to the next stage. Continues production from both of those town centers, has the deer to take for food in the back, and also has a lot of sheep left over. So even once he's done with those berries, he will have options for food economy, which is one of the problems for Abbasid after the initial berries are gone. But he goes for a barracks now.
I'm scared. I'm scared for VortiX.
Yeah.
His castle age timing will be so much later. Barbican won't really do too much against like the full man-at-arm push. Yeah, still collecting some gold, but this is tricky. I think Beastyqt will be able to put on quite some pressure. Just need some more wood to add some more barracks. And once he gets to 3 barracks, I think lots of pressure is going to come from him.
What's the food situation like for VortiX? Because I know he ran out of the sheep, and I know he was running out of the deer. Okay, he's got some berries on that side. That's pretty exposed. Oh.
Those deer still at the top.
Oh, there's another carcass hiding there. Okay, so we'll have food for a little while longer.
Yeah, but needs to transition into berries or into farms eventually. And, well, still has some berries there at the front, obviously with supervision. That's a bit more efficient. Now second barracks will finish. And I think VortiX actually needs to go for some crossbow here to defend. Obviously meaning that he will be the one defending, won't really be able to put any pressure on there for counterattacks.
Walls coming up on the right side from VortiX. And
Shot a deer there.
now the mill being scouted from Beasty. So he knows about that. He knows that that is a potential pressure point he can hit. Lots of barracks now queued to the front side there from Beasty. Men-at-Arms on the way. And VortiX is just now going up to the 3rd age. So his timing, he was actually somewhat in time.
Okay, 11 villages ahead. That's nice for VortiX. Now indeed goes for the archer ranges, so knows, okay, I need to go for crossbowman. We see the economic wing also telling us that we are researching preservation of knowledge, reduction on all our researches that we want to do. game stabilizes, obviously, or not stabilizes. It's just the build-up phase. Both players kind of fearing, I don't want to go out making a big mistake, and therefore playing extremely defensively. We have Camel Archer in there as well. This could be a long one, Dave. This could be an intense one.
A long and intense one after a long and intense series. Another barracks. So 4 barracks.
No, 3 barracks, double archer range.
Ah, that one was an archer range. Okay, so 3 and 2.
Yeah, goes for a mix. Now the first farms being dropped off will be maybe the most exposed thing that we have for now. And as we can see, Clockwork Tower that cannot be supervised anymore is going to start produce some Springles. More HP on those, 300 as you can see.
Yeah, he's definitely knowing that the siege push will likely come right down the middle. There's one wall there, another wall to the mountain, taking those berries in the side. The Camel Archer, the first aggression of the game, real aggression of the game, as the Camel Archer comes in and drives those villagers off the hunt.
I think with how defensively this game was played,
Yeah.
Beastyqt could have afforded a 3rd town center.
Yeah.
I think he would have arrived at the same time, maybe would have had 10 more villages then. And VortiX, he's getting a nice lead and didn't really take any damage, and he knows okay.
Look at the eco upgrades coming in from Beasty.
Okay.
Every eco upgrade.
Oh, that's sick. Does all 3 of them and a blacksmith upgrade, double blacksmith upgrades. He just clicked 5 upgrades.
Yeah. He's got them all queued. He got the cheaper technologies and then immediately just queues up everything.
Smart, so smart. 30% saved on all of them. Felt like wheelbarrow is something he wanted to have earlier, obviously with double town center. Makes lots of sense. And it's still the big question, will he be able to pressure? Because he is now 15 villagers behind, plus the Imperial officials.
Okay, coming out now, and there's the first Mangonel of the game. It probably won't be the last.
3 Springles already, Dave. The Mangonel will achieve nothing. Now double Springlet, okay, trying to address it.
Yeah, he's got his own Springalds in the queue. He doesn't, I don't think he saw the Springalds with his scout earlier from VortiX. Scout now coming out from VortiX. This is a great play here to bring this scout out and get that extra vision on what's coming his way.
Yeah, and see the army. We are still in the point of view. Look at that, of VortiX. It looks like it's everything explored, but that's simply because the scouting positioning is so good.
Yeah, it's great. And he's got the Springalds behind, so he can feel somewhat comfortable knowing that BC is going to struggle to push in here. Mangonel shot comes in on the villager. Scout goes down, but he got the initial information. He knows it's going to be men-at-arms, Mangonel, couple Springalds, and some crossbows behind. And now BC is building more siege. He's on 2 different berry patches as well, so BC's food income is going to be really good behind this. 65 villagers for him, 78 villagers for VortiX, but the army advantage right now sitting in BC's favor, and that was an outpost forward too.
I like that we see a new scout by VortiX. He knows, okay, there is an advantage when it comes to line of sight. Person on the hill sees further, can take better engagements, and therefore VortiX tries to get his scout in the front and probably wants to trade off at least evenly with the Springles there. Tricky spot, might find a kill against the scout. That
this could get
suspicious position.
He's got to be careful. This push from the Abyssite could get out of control really quickly.
Boink.
He's got to be really, really careful with his Springles. If he tosses too many away, it could be a problem. Mangonel's still kind of scouting for BC. He's going for an outpost there, also going for an outpost on the other side, just to give himself a little bit of vision to know when the Springles are coming forward from VortiX. VortiX also going pretty far forward with those farms. This might be another pressure point that BC can hit, but he's looping everything around to this right side.
Doesn't it feel super risky to build the farms there? You have such safe spots in the back. That feels like a risk you don't need to take. Look at that. That would have been a spot all the far in the back. And Scout sees quite a lot of army coming over. Crossbow will deal with this one quite nicely because Mangonel's not really getting any shots in.
Yeah, Springold goes down from VortiX. He's going to back up, though. He doesn't take another one from Beasty. Farm's now up there, so if Beasty wants to push in that way, he potentially can. That's a wall from Beasty, too, in the south there. So he's thinking about starting to wall his opponent in. That wouldn't even be the... It wouldn't be the first. It wouldn't be the second. Probably be the 3rd time we've seen that in this series so far.
The most
important
game
keep too
in their AoE4 career.
Yep.
Like directly 7.5k on the line, plus the shot for another 10k in the final tomorrow. 30k first, 20k second, 12.5k guaranteed now. They know that there's so much pressure on their opponent as well. And both players just playing this extremely calm right now, trying to not make a single misstep.
We've got the keep coming up here from Beasty on that hill. This is going to be such a difficult position for VortiX to push back, especially if Beasty walls off that southern side too. It's going to be really difficult for him to expand. Beasty's also walling off in the east, in that eastern corner. So Beasty is thinking about trapping his opponent and having keeps up here on the hill with his siege, with his infantry to support. This is a very Beasty-like push. Very slow, very methodical.
Yeah, and the forward keep, we saw that in his China game earlier, and well, that's a lot of exposed villagers. Men-at-Arms could come over, could easily find 15 if this is not shift-click back and if he's not reacting, but he does.
Another keep coming on that gold. Now we have VortiX pushing up here with all of his military to the right side. He's just ignoring the military right now from Beasty. And does he go to the economy here, or does he just loop around and look for reinforcements behind?
I think it feels a bit too risky to move out there. Outpost finishes as well. So full vision for Beastyqt. Now he knows exactly how VortiX is positioning himself, and that's a big advantage. I think this will be a bad trade coming up for VortiX unless he forces this instantly.
VortiX is going to be behind enemy lines here, and I just saw the wood line for VortiX, Nilly. It's gone.
Oh no.
The wood line at the back is gone. And we talked about the other wood line location in the center here. This is going to be absolutely brutal. It looks like a masterclass from Beastyqt as he comes in here with the Springolds, gets even trades with those. The men-at-arms are now working on them. And VortiX's army is completely cut off here behind. He's going to need to secure some wood, but he's going to need some army to do so, and it looks like he'll lose a good portion of these units.
Oh, and now running into the tower pretty bad, and he can't really hit and run because once a Magno shoots, he will lose everything. And now Men-at-Arms are chasing it down. Really rough engagement, that's what we said. He didn't really have the control, he didn't really have the vision, and he needs to make something happen. That is horrible for VortiX. He needs a miracle.
It's good that he got those units back. I was afraid of him losing everything, but he's going to have some serious issues here with resources pretty soon. I think there was also an outpost on the gold to the left of his base too, denying that. The wood, like we saw before, was being denied. Now the villagers are being pulled.
No HP
the Mangonel has to be pulled back. There's 2 outposts there. There's crossbows helping out too. Springolds are on the move.
Going for the woodline there, that's not really a thing. We just need to see Beastyqt fully going for men-at-arms, purely going for crossbow. Some more siege with that. Villagers are now going down. Beastyqt finally in the lead in villagers.
And he's pulling his men-at-arms back this way, and it looks like VortiX is just diving here. He knows he needs access to those resources. He knows how important they are, and he's struggling to gain control. Looks like the wall is up there to the right side for Beasty, and now he's walled in these mills. Does he send, okay, send a monk forward, grab the relic, and wall low everything in that area.
He's building a gate. He will send some army over. He created a prison. He created a death trap for all the goat villagers of VortiX.
Oh my goodness, Beasty putting on such a performance here. VortiX just trying to survive, and it's 2 men-at-arms. And they're going to get inside there and start wreaking havoc.
Ridiculous shots!
Oh, what a shot there from the Mangonels.
Everything so low now. The men-at-arms are coming in. Tower, obviously, now to even reinforce this. But this is horrible for VortiX. He has no more wood to take.
Huge placements there from Beasty with those outposts initially. We didn't really fully realize what he was doing, shutting down that wood line, but you bet that he did, and now the villagers are just panicking. They're trying to get out of this situation. The men-at-arms are killing them from behind, and I think VortiX will actually save a good portion of those villagers, and he's still got army. He's still pushing out, but look at his resources right now. 51 food, 90 gold, 280 wood, and 1 stone VortiX is trying to make something happen desperately. Even Relics coming in from Beasty.
Oh, so good there, and Beasty will get at least 2. Now Springles are moving forward, trying to get the Springles in the back. MarineLorD's behind this one, can get some shots in. We saw them. Look at that. They are coming over. This could be the game-ending shots for VortiX. This could be the tournament-ending shots for him. MarineLorD shots now against the crossbow, still dodging.
Yeah, great dodges there from VortiX. He's trying to snipe those MarineLorDs with the Springles. And I think he's actually going to get one here, but the MarineLorDs are still on the hunt. Crossbows are still on the hunt. Men-at-Arms are still following up. We got some Men-at-Arms pushing in from the cage. It looks like a lot of the villagers escaped there, and VortiX is just desperately trying to survive. He's losing more and more units, though, and he doesn't look at 0 on food. For VortiX, he just doesn't have the resources to replace them. I think he's going to call the GG, and I think Beasty is through to the finals of N4C. Oh, baby, what a performance from Beasty here.
Oh, look at all the idols, and VortiX knows there's nothing more he can do. Sends the last units in, villagers are going down, and Beastyqt will play against the winner of MarineLorD and Leenock later on. Big MarineLorD shots again, sending in the last villagers here to give it a worthy battle for a great series.
And here we go with all of the villagers trying to take out that mangonel. It looked like VortiX was about to give up there, but maybe he was thinking about the previous games with Beasty, and a big double fist bump there from Beasty as he takes it and goes through to the finals. Huge result for him. Great effort there from VortiX in that series. It was long, it was drawn out, it was fought well from both players, and Beasty deserves to be in the finals.
It honestly felt like both deserved to be in the finals.
Yeah.
Best of 7. So many crazy games. Games where we have seen no villagers left for Beastyqt.
18 population villagers for like 10 minutes.
And he fought through. Oh,
Yeah.
VortiX, crazy performance. Yesterday beat DeMusliM, and now is just here and put on the great show. Could have been his series as well.
Yep, it could have been easily. There's some really hard-fought games in there, and you have to love it. And we've been doing this series for 4 hours now for a
Holy
best
moly.
of 7 in Age of Empires 4. Like that's kind of crazy, and that shows how competitive it was. I have to credit Beasty. It seemed like every single game he came in with a game plan, and he never gave up. Never gave up until it was clear. Like that one scene where the deer stones was going this way, and I think the step readout was going this way. Again, he was trying to like separate them so the military wouldn't find it. Oh no!
Oh, holy! That was just such.
So ridiculous. He walled in 30 villagers.
And then sent the men-at-arms in, and they still fought themselves through.
Should have sent a monk, bro.
Yeah.
You should have sent a
Oh,
monk.
that was a highlight scene as well. And then the villagers trying to split, and then the monk goes out and goes in again with another conversion later on.
Yeah.
Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy. And I will go over there and ask Beastyqt some questions. You will have your well-deserved rest.
Yep.
Get some food, because you will be in for another 4-hour set after this one. MarineLorD against Leenock.
Hopefully. Yeah. All right, guys, stay tuned. We've got our second semis coming up soon, and obviously the interview with Beasty done by Nilly. I'm going to go get something to eat, and I'll see you in a bit, all right?
Banger of a set. Holy moly, how do you feel? I'm stressed. Production? Oh. Ah, okay.
Wow.
Beastyqt, what a set. Holy moly, how do you feel?
I feel great. Like that was very stressful. Definitely the most stressful set that I've had, probably ever.
Yeah.
I think the Civ picks worked out for me. And then when I saw Mongol Rus, I was super confident. I was like, oh, it's going to be a 4-2. You know, he was doing the push, and I was like, oh, this is great for me. You know, I can hold. I got castle, and I was like, oh my god, like, you know, that's it. But then I started losing more and more, and he got really bad at one point.
How many rams did he lose that game? 20? 25? It was just like 3 rams you defended, 3 rams you defended.
Yeah, that was a crazy game, and there were so many moments I'm like, oh, maybe I'm holding, but he just kept pushing, and I think I found his food sources way too late.
Ah, yeah.
Because he didn't get, I think, that much deer, but he was just using berries the whole time. And yeah, I guess lancers are not the right answer to that first. So maybe next time we'll do something else.
Okay. Yeah. Also, it felt like maybe the Lancers with the counter attack. Do you think that was the great choice? Because I was a bit thinking that if you had them for the defense would have been easier.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, after the first push, I had 20 villagers in TC, like killing archers. So when I defended the first push, I felt like, oh, can counterattack to kind of seal the game.
Yeah.
But then he had like so many more archers, and
Crazy.
basically because I only had few knights or men-at-arms at the time, he was able to focus them down and actually kill them, even though they're feudal archers into castle units. So. Yeah, I probably should have delayed my counterattacks, but like I said, I thought I had enough to defend. I don't know how many archer ranges he was on. Was he at 3?
Yeah, at some point he was 3 for the long, and then he built like double barracks in addition to that as well.
Yeah, so I think maybe man-at-arms would have been a better response, or if I got siege engineering into just quick mangonel would be nice as well, but live and learn.
Okay, well, then we went into game number 7. Did you feel the pressure? Like, were you scared after you felt like, okay, I have a good matchup, I just lost? It's the biggest game of your AoE 4 career.
Yeah, so game 7, obviously I knew this was going to be Chinese versus Abbasid, and I played that matchup versus Mista, and as you know, I barely won that with the counterattack, and I do think that Abbasid is quite good against Chinese, especially on that map, because Chinese runs out of resources really fast. So if you just hit castle, make siege, and stay around their base, you don't necessarily need to attack. They will run out of resources because they can't push out. If you build a keep, there's nothing to break the keep. Their siege making is a lot slower than mine, so you can overwhelm the Springalds, even though Chinese ones are better. So that was kind of my game plan. I was worried that he's gonna BBQ rush me, but that's why I made 2 scouts, and I made sure that there's no villagers moving across, because that would be a bad way to go to the tournament. So once I saw this going for second TC, I felt like much more comfortable. I kept scouting. I was like, don't lose to like a bunch of palace guards running around.
Yeah.
Don't lose to lancers. So I just try to see what's going on. And when I saw 2 archer ranges, I felt so relieved because I knew that he's going to defend. And I don't think that's the right way to go about it, because he can't kill my siege.
But his castle age time was so much later, right? And he scouted your double barracks, so he felt, okay, I needed to defend the first wave first.
Yeah, I guess I've had a bunch of games like that where I go crossbows, and you do defend. The problem is if the Abbasid doesn't attack, you lose. So I had experience from both sides playing that, and I know the moment I saw crossbows, I was like, well, I'm not going to run my man-at-arms into TC because crossbows are just going to farm them. So I just stayed outside. Once I got the castle up, that's a huge defense point, and then I made sure he has no villagers running out or hidden mining or gathering stuff somewhere. And the moment that I knew the game is really, really going well for me is when I walled off his villagers on the gold on the bottom. And when I saw his wood villagers like go on the pass on the right side because he had no more wood. So I felt pretty good, knew that he's running out of resources. So, yeah.
So now you're in the finals, playing for the N4C trophy tomorrow. We will have MarineLorD against Leenock next. Who do you want to face?
Well, I played both of them in the group stage. I think I would prefer to face Leenock because his Civ pool is a bit smaller than other players here.
Doesn't have 9 civs in the best of 9.
Right. I think Leenock is obviously, both of them are really, really good. Leenock mechanically is probably the best. Like, he's the fastest here. But he does lack a little bit in 1-2 civs. So something that's very important in the long series to know how to play all the civs equally or somewhat equally. On the other side, MarineLorD, I mean, obviously he is the tournament favorite. From the get-go, people thought he would win, he would do well, and he did do well. But I think I can beat both of them. So for me, at the end of the day, if you want to win the whole thing, you kind of have to beat everyone. So
okay. Yeah, I can absolutely see that. Give me maybe your prediction.
My prediction, including everyone else's, were terrible this tournament. So I'm gonna say 4-2 MarineLorD, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way.
Okay, okay. Sick. Okay, then I will tell production that we go now into the kitchen and then into the betting quiz so that they can work behind the scenes. I will thank you so much for the great